Hello, I am Gregory, the poor typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live. Today, our topic is typewriter overload. Do you have it? Have you had it? Does it exist? So hopefully we'll have a good discussion today. As always, I will remind you that TypePals is and always will be free. So if you enjoy exchanging letters or postcards with your typewriter, feel free to join us at typepals.com. Yeah. I'm trying a new setup here. I'm keeping myself in a little box here. So we have room over there for the YouTube chat, hopefully, if all goes well. Yeah. So happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome. Yeah. There's Brenda. How are you, Brenda?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Oh, my
Yeah.
dogs are barking. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So I've been meaning to show this. My daughter gave me this
Oh,
typewriter
cool.
ribbon cover, and I don't smoke, but my friend gave me this lighter
Oh,
with
cool.
all the typewriter keys on it.
Yeah.
So I thought I can use this to light the wax seals, right?
Perfect.
That's what I thought. And then you guys were looking at doing all these alphabet
Yes.
things. Yes. Okay. So I've had this forever, and it's magnetized,
Oh.
and that's the font on it, typeface, or whatever you want to call it, the font. Okay. So you get they're all magnetized, and then you also have this little kit here where you've got this little nub thing that if you just wanted to do like one, I don't know how many things you could fit on this little block. And then it also has like it comes with the tweezers too, so you can get them on there. But then you also have this size one, and then like this way. So you can do like, you probably could fit, you might be able to put an address on there,
Yeah.
So I think this is yeah, We Are Memory, Making Memories, We Are Memory Keepers or something. And then there's another one that I have that I just got recently. And I think this is We Are Memory Keepers too. But you have these two, it's hard to see, these two containers that you put all the letters in, okay? You've got the bigger ones and the smaller ones. And then what's really neat about it is that it comes with this board where you see the lines in it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can you go ahead and put your letters, and you could write a whole whatever you want. And then you have this board that once you put these on here, and then you line it up on here, you ink it and you press it down. And then if you wanted to do multiple, greetings or whatever you're making, you can, do them over and over again. And then also, if you don't get enough ink on the stamp, you can also re-ink it and then do it over again, and then you can make a deeper, more clear impression, which this is really cool.
Wow.
And but I got that. I think I found those at Tuesday morning or something, because I think those have been out a while.
Okay.
But yeah, I just happened to, I thought, well, hopefully I see one, and I lucked out and I found one. But and then I did save two.
So Brenda,
yes, sir.
does it come with a lot of letters and a lot of symbols, or I guess that's a large page?
It's it has probably, I think it has like three uppercase. It'll have like three uppercase and then three lowercase. Can you see okay?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and then you can just, put whatever you want. And it does have some symbols and stuff that comes with it. But yeah, I don't think I had used it for Father's Day cards where I don't know where it's at. But yeah, and it has the big letters. So you can use the big letters with the little letters,
Right.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's got all the numbers down here. So I guess it's got two of each number. So pretty cool.
Very cool.
And
I've never
so I
seen that.
saved. Yeah, it's I don't know how long it's been out, but I use the stamp press a lot for when I do my stamping, because I like to make a lot of, like, when I stamp out one of my stamps, I don't just do one. I'll do like maybe 6 or 8 of the same thing over and over again. So that's what I like these for, is to be able to, if I don't put enough ink on, I can reposition it and stamp it over again. But yeah, I don't know how old those letter things are. It could be, not recent. So and then I saved 2 typewriters, I guess, a week ago, which I told you I don't want to buy anymore. But I couldn't not buy this Super Sterling. Was $9.99 at the Goodwill. And it's like, there's not a scratch on it anywhere. I mean, and it works, which, why wouldn't it? Because of what it is. But so I had to get that. And I guess if I want to, I can always sell it. I don't know. And then I found this thing at the Goodwill for like $14 and something. And it's a Royal Safari 3, which it's not like the best looking typewriter. But I couldn't leave it there. I mean, for $14,
Oh yeah.
I mean, and it's got a very metally, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Very weird feel to it, like very metal or machine-like. It's weird. And the only thing that was wrong was the return lever was, I had to pull it up because it was bent, and then it wanted to hit the side of the typewriter. But other than that, it works. I mean, it's just so yeah, I had to save those 2. And I didn't, I left this one at the thing, and my husband said, he kind of looked at me funny, and I said, what, you think I should have bought the thing? And he goes, well, yeah, why? It was $14. And I said, fine, I'll go back and get it. Okay, you give me permission, I'll go get it. So I went back, it was still there, so I grabbed it. But yeah, so that's about all I have.
Question about that carriage return lever.
Yeah.
That model, the lever pushes down for stowing, for
Yes.
putting the cover on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was like really bent down. So when you went to, when you wanted to move the carriage over, it would bang into the cover. So I looked at it, I'm like, well, it kind of looks like it's just bent. So I just kind of gently, because I'm very powerful and I like to break typewriters, I gently just did a little bit, and it's fine. So it was good. Did you? Oh, and Daniel, so I went to the thrift store, I think that's the last time I was on here, and you know what I saw? It was one of those paper thingies that you wanted. That old little box, yes, and it had like maybe 4 cubbies across the top and just 2 flat cubbies, and it was $20. And I thought, oh my God, here we go. And then I also saw the lamp, Gregory, that lamp my lamp that I have, the arm one. There was one there, but it was the kind that you screwed on to the, like your side of like it had a clamp. It was $20. And I thought, oh, I should get this for Gregory, but how would I get it to you? And it was really nice. And I almost bought it, but then I thought, well, I don't know if the weight of it, I don't know how that would be compressing on the edge of my table that I have. And I wouldn't want it to like be really heavy and kind of crack it. So I just left it there. I left it there. So, but that's all. I'm done talking.
You can talk as long as you want.
I know I can, but no. Somebody else needs it. Someone else can have a turn.
Okay.
So
well, it's so
it was
good
nice
to see you,
to see
Brenda.
everybody. You too.
Yes. Let's see. Daniel, are you trying to hide?
I'm actually working on putting the.
Oh, you muted yourself. There we go.
I'm actually working on this keyboard, and I just finished. I just finished replacing the 3 keys
Ah,
So yesterday I removed the three type bars. Those three type bars are the from this mechanism, and I put the type bars from the other very rusty machine. This is a Goma Colibri that
Hmm.
I'm taking two Colibris and trying to make one out of it because like
Okay.
this this is in very good condition. The movement here, but it came like I bought it like this, like as a parts machine,
Mm.
right? But the person that sold it to me had it shipped from somewhere in the U.S. to Colorado, and it broke in the shipping. It wasn't packed properly.
Oh,
So he I guess he found an undergroma, and he had that for sale, and so this is the shell from the very rusted one, but you see how this there's no paint on the back. There's no paint at all. I've just wire brushed this morning. This is going to be a complete repaint, of course. This part, and I'm going to try to match the color of the good carriage. The good carriage came from the other one because that's in pristine condition. And I didn't really know that, but on a Groma, the shell is part of the frame. So the carriage is resting on the rear part, of the machine like this. And the mechanism that I was showing is bolted or screwed from the underside, and the two can be separated really easily. It's not easy to take this apart, but the machine that is very rusted, this whole piece is rusted solid. I can't do anything. I can't even turn the platen. It's pretty much gone. I don't know if I'll be able to get it into different parts to maybe sell to someone for salvage for if they need parts for their own machine. Um, but all the chrome is gone on the other carriage, so it doesn't look good. This one looks better. So I'm going to try to match a paint. I'm going to go to a paint shop where they can match this color, and
yeah.
then put it in a spray can, and I can spray this, so they match a little bit. Um,
Nice.
so so this original Groma was made for the U.S. market and sold it for the U.S. market, and it's very deceptive that it comes from East Germany because it says at the back, made in Germany. Can you see that? Made in Germany, which is not totally correct for 1958. And this is Charlie that just decided to
Hi, Shirley.
and so what I'm doing is I'm putting those three type bars. I took those three type bars out, and I put the three type bars to make this for me to be able to type in French. So I just
Nice.
completed, and you can't. Yeah, it's not exactly the same color. This is these and these. So this is a little bit darker than the others, but really it's minimal. So I replaced this one, I replaced this one, and I
Wow.
replaced this one.
Wow.
Yes, I'm pointing to the right thing. This one here,
Okay.
this one here, and this one. And
Wow.
that makes it a French Canadian QWERTY. That's it.
Wow.
That's all that's needed.
Wow, that's crazy.
Um, and detail here in the way. Say hello. No, he doesn't look at he doesn't like to look at the screen, but anyway. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. And of course, something else. That good machine did not come with a ribbon cover. So that's the ribbon cover from the rusted one. That's also going to have to be completely well, the paint. I'm going to have to remove the paint and then spray paint it with the thing. So what's surprising to me is that the Groma logo and the Calibri, these are aluminum. It's not plastic, or it's like it's made out of aluminum, the whole thing.
Wow.
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to remove that for spray painting, or I'm going to have to
Yeah.
mask it and then spray paint around it.
Is it glued on or is it screwed on in the back?
It's riveted. So
Hmm.
screws would be good.
Yeah.
Glue would be good, but this is riveted.
You could
Oh,
probably, I mean, very carefully drill out those rivets
And then what do you do for like putting them back?
to reattach. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Retouching, you can glue it. You can do lots of things.
Oh,
But if you don't take them off when you paint, it's never going to look right.
Yeah, I think you have to. I agree.
'Cause
Just
you,
from car experience.
you'll be able to sand right up to the edge of that, and there'll be a little fillet on the inside of it with paint. It's never going to look right.
That's true, but there's only so much trouble that one wants to go through for a Frankenstein machine in any case.
Yeah.
But you're going to have your perfect Groma Calibri with a QWERTY French Canadian. I mean, it's going to be your perfect item.
Andrew, I'm sensitive to that. I'm really sensitive.
Oh, I know. I like this whole project, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you could even use the dab of hot glue under each one once the rivets are drilled out. It's not like it's a structural part of the machine.
Or JB Weld.
Yeah, hot glue. I hate hot glue, but I'm more into like JB Weld and.
Oh, okay, whatever.
That's just my.
If you want to take hot glue off, you just peel it off with your thumbnail. That's pretty low impact for me, but go. But I definitely try to take it off.
Now, like in the odd chance that the seller can send me the corner, he forgot to pack the corner when he packed the machine to send it to me. I don't even. I have it in my dream that this could be welded, but I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Lucas Duel did it
I would
for
say Lucas Duel could do it.
Yeah.
Well, but Lucas said it's not good enough. Right, Andrew?
I don't know. Because he fixed that Graphica that looked like brand new. But it wasn't missing a piece, it was just detached, right? He just sort of reattached, if memory serves.
Yeah. But
he had to re-pour a whole bunch of that frame. Well, not a whole bunch, but like a couple inches at least. But he poured it in sand, and he did the whole aluminum casting and everything.
That guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Very detail oriented.
Definitely.
To say the least, yes.
so I don't know. Well, that's an option, but it's cracked in other places. So it's. Anyway, I'll see if I can get the corner, the options to do it. I mean, TIG welding works for aluminum, but it's a pretty difficult one. You need to get a really good aluminum welder, like somebody that really, really knows how to weld aluminum sheet, because this is thin and you can just melt the thing. I'm not trying to weld it.
Oh yeah.
So it's just, I think since I have the other frame and it's just more like a paint job, but it's also a Bondo job. So there's like some voids in the casting, which I think is because of oxidation, but I'm not sure. I could also see that the original casting wasn't perfect and they filled it and sanded it before spray painting.
There's every chance that it's going to be better when you finish with it than it was when it left the factory, especially in East Germany, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
the Trabant of the typewriter world.
the Trabant. It's because I'm going to put like umpteen hours into it, and that's why it's going to be looking better. So that's what I'm doing lately,
Wow.
and I keep jumping from one project to the other. I'm not even finished with my Selectric. Bill is looking right now, and I need to order parts from Bill and finish my Selectric, but I just jumped to another project without finishing this Electric. So it's a little bit. I have a big of difficulty to keep on the same project. Sometimes I jump around and then come back and so on and so forth.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do the
But
same
you know-
thing. I'm all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too.
I think
crazy.
there is a benefit to that though. To going from one project to another, it gives you time to, your subconscious mind time to work on issues with the previous project, or maybe even just to recover mentally from it. And I'll give an example. So, that insanely huge author, James Patterson. So I read an article. He's working on 35 books at a time. So,
Wow.
so if he can do it, you can do it, Daniel.
Yeah. Somehow, so my dad was self-employed for most of his life. Like when he graduated from tech school in electronics, he did work for others. But then he was self-employed, ran his own business, and did everything himself. If he would repair 35 TV at the same time, somebody would be waiting a long time before getting.
That's
the TV.
true. That's true.
So there is a bit of a pipeline sometimes in business that you
In
need
business,
to
yeah.
finish one, first in, first out,
Yeah.
and keep going like that. So
Yeah.
maybe I know what you're saying though, because this is not a business. So
Yeah.
I have the liberty, the freedom to do a little bit what I want, but that's it. So that's it for me.
Okay.
It's I mean it's quite a fun. I mean I'm quite impressed with the design of the Colibri. You know, Trabant. I don't think Trabant was very well designed. I mean the Trabant car. Whereas this
Well,
one,
they did pretty well with what they had to work with, right?
right?
Because
Okay,
people still drive them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, it just was that the body was poor quality and it rusted very 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 soon. But I'm quite. That's what I'm saying. Wow! For such a small machine, it the action is quite nice. Really really nice, and it's really ultra portable. It's I think back in the days it would have been a really good machine to travel with, you know. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, you're a much braver man than I am.
no,
Tackling
there's
stuff like
no.
that. Oof.
We
Young
don't need to
dude.
compare. We don't need to compare. That's what I
That's
like
true.
to do.
That's true. That's
And
true.
that's it. And
Well,
I
it's
got
so
some
good to see you.
mail.
Yeah.
I got some mail from different type pals, and it's
Excellent.
great to hear from them, and so that I work as a pipeline.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent.
So thank you, Ted. Ted was one of I got one of his letters,
Oh, nice.
and so and episode 1,
Ah,
which I listened to. Thank you very much.
very cool.
It was very cool. It is very cool. Like and the paper used and the stickers and the stamps and everything. It's quite a very sensory filled kind of letter. You have the text to
Entirely the
read, but you
point.
also have things to see, things to look at, and there's a real artistic approach to it.
Yeah, I can honestly say receiving something from Ted is an experience.
I think so. So again,
Yes.
I don't think I'll be able to do like Ted. So that doesn't matter.
No.
I just
Challenge
send
you
things-
though. Challenge.
Well, so we
I want a
learn from the
mixtape.
others. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's kind of. Oh yeah, and I have another project actually.
Mm.
This is the platen of a Underwood Noiseless 77, and it's
Oh,
hard
wow.
as
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
Hard as glass. It's a 1947 machine. And I got into this crazy idea that I would recover it with this nitrile cork thing that is supposed to be anti-slip, anti-slippery. You buy that for like stairs or other things, and that's 1/8 of an inch thick. And then you need to go at an angle, like preferably at an angle, so that the seam is not straight. It's at an angle.
Oh.
But I don't know if I'll do it. I might chicken out. This is $10, so that doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
But I might chicken out and actually, have brand new rubber on that one, because like I don't think I have any other platen that is as hard as this one, and it's quite something. And it doesn't have the corn cob or anything like that. It's just like super hard, and it doesn't work very well for a noiseless. The noiseless, I think, needs a bit of a softer
Oh, yeah.
platen,
Yeah,
or else it doesn't print very well.
definitely.
So,
Well, I mean, you could cork it first, and then if it doesn't work, then send it to JJ Short. They don't need the original rubber on there.
That's true.
That's exactly
Mhm.
that's exactly the idea. Is like try it, and
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, it's not a big loss, because this is like very, very hard. I don't even know. I think I probably would have to turn it on my lathe to remove the rubber. I don't know if do they use a knife to strip them?
Usually,
or
yeah.
they knife it. Yeah.
I mean, if it's as hard as glass, you might have to chip it off with a
With a chisel.
hammer and chisel.
A chisel. A chisel.
Yeah, come at it from the side.
Yeah. No, I would go this way with a chisel. And
Can you melt off the rubber somehow? Chemicals?
melting? No, but maybe maybe
Fire
boiling
torch.
it. Yeah.
Fire.
Maybe
Turn it off.
I wouldn't put that in fire, because then whatever the core is going to be
True.
maybe damaged.
Yeah, it could be wooden.
It'll probably burn rather than melt if you get it hot.
Yes, it would rather burn than melt. But boiling water does soften rubber, so maybe that there's an idea. It's not so crazy to put it in hot water, and maybe that's going to make it a bit softer, and it's going to be easier to chisel away. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
good idea. I might try that.
That doesn't
There you
promote
go.
rust at all.
Well, rust, rust can be dealt with if water is removed quickly and it's dried up, dried off. They used to clean typewriters in a bath of water with some cleaning solution in it. So, yeah, exactly that name, which I couldn't remember, but that was water. The trick is to dry them off, and
Well, and then they dumped it in an oil bath afterwards. Kerosene and oil.
Oh.
and I can do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
that set it on fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank
Reporting
you,
out.
Daniel.
Roger.
Yep.
Roger and
Yeah. It's so good to see you.
thanks.
Bill, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, just enjoying a day off, and yeah, I figured I'd come back again and say hi to everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah, getting ready this week. Saturday next week is our first type in, so getting ready for that, and have a company. There's a nonprofit here in Philadelphia called the Philly Soapbox, and they have people come in and take lessons on mimeograph and letterpress and like these old, just incredible equipment for stationery making, posters and such, and people come in and they take printing classes and such, and so they're coming out and they're going to set up a tabletop letterpress and have a mimeograph for people to use, and so we're coordinating with them and getting we have a new resident typewriter poet for the shop, young woman up in northeast Philadelphia, maybe 12 miles away from us, who's going to come down and she's going to start doing typewriter poetry workshops and such. So yeah, just a big week coming up, and yeah, just relaxing today finally.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yep.
And now I think you're probably a good person to ask the topic for today, which is typewriter overload. Do you ever get sick of like seeing typewriters?
No, not
Okay.
at all. Oh no. My partner, Katie, she's in the shop, periodically she'll come and hang out. She'll work, she works from home, and so sometimes she'll come and work from the shop. And some I don't know, some clients came in, some perspectives, they came in and they were walking around, and I told them about the history of these machines, and I'm running around, I'm showing them how the Selectrics lift off tape, and I'm showing these machines, and I'm running around the shop, I'm running around the showroom, take them on tour and everything. They leave. 20 minutes later, more people come in, and I did like the same thing again, and she watched me, and they left, and she looks at me and she goes, "It is astounding to me that after 4 years you are just as excited to show the same exact thing to new people every single time, and how excited you are to see. It's like you're seeing it for the first time, like you only just learned about it like 20 minutes ago and you're like excited." It's my passion, it's my life. And so like it's so exciting to be excited and to get other people excited. When they walk into a typewriter shop in 2023, they have no idea what they're about to experience, and I want to give them the full, like I'm just excited about all of it and showing them the mechanics. I'm explaining things, I'm using terminology and things that I'm like, oh sorry, okay, no, this is called the platen, this is called, but yeah, no, there's no overload for me, not yet. but
Yeah.
but I also get to share, at the shop there's 6 of us all together, and so something that Daniel was talking about earlier with I don't know, process pipeline, like working on 6 different things at once. Something that we have in the shop, I built this like process for the shop for every machine that comes in, and we have pretty strict rules amongst the mechanics about, like, if you're cleaning and lubricating a typewriter, when you're done, go and clean and lubricate another machine or take a break. Like, don't immediately go into detail work, or if you're detailing and you put down the brush, don't immediately go into adjustments. Like, switching costs exist, and so like take a minute, go reset, go get a cup of coffee, hang out, go have a conversation, talk about typewriters, talk about, check in with the other mechanics, what are you into, talk with each other. But I get to share the burden with 5 other people that are doing the same thing, so it's everybody working at the same time. So overload, I'm lucky. Overload, I don't really have to worry about burning out. But I mean, sometimes there's clients that there's push jobs, and sometimes somebody is out on a Thursday, and it's like, all right, I have no choice but to switch gears quickly. But those kind of things, it comes in time, with our scheduling and how we program everything out. But
Yeah. Excellent. Very good. And have any interesting typewriters passed through the shop this week?
I'm trying to think. This week was a blur. I was sick earlier this week. I was out for 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a right when I was leaving last Sunday, the meeting, I was like, what is that? I feel like a tickle.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's
Monday
our fault.
yeah, right. Yeah. End of day Monday, I was like, I have to take a day off, and then it turned into 2.
Oh.
And then I passed it on to one of our mechanics, and so they were out for
Oh,
a
no.
day. Yeah, no, it was a disaster of a week. But I
Oh.
don't really remember. I know we finished
Okay.
up a legacy, not an interesting machine by any stretch, but it was a legacy, somebody's family's Royal 10, that when it came in, it was a boat anchor. Like, this thing was just like, and they had started to work on it themselves and realized, like, no, they took the carriage off. Like, the first step for them was to take the carriage off. Like, platen installed, everything
Wow.
installed. The first thing to do was take off the 5 clips on the bottom of the carriage, and it was like, okay, let us. So they came in, but anyway, we were a little skeptical about like, is it going to be the bent frame of the car at the end? Is it going to pull to the left? Is it going to run? But after 45 hours or so with things, I don't know, it's like factory. So we had a nice celebration at the shop for a completion of such a far gone machine to be able to come back from the dead. So
Wow. Do you see a lot of the same types of machines, or is it just like a constant flow of like different machines?
It's the same machine. So we are, and I've said this, I think, no, I don't know if I said it here before, but so Philly Typewriter is a restoration shop, not a sales shop. So like we sell typewriters, but I mean 10 to 1 on restoration. Like it's people bringing in machines for service and restoration. And so what we see are, we see Smith Coronas, Underwoods, Royal 10, like old era, like early 1900s typewriters the most, and it's Underwood 5s, it's Royal 10s, Underwood Standards, and then portable Smith Coronas, Super Speeds, LC, like it's all of those on repeat. It is amazing how it's like the same machines. Like we've never had a Calibri in the shop in like 7 years. Like nobody walks in with a Calibri. No, that doesn't happen. But Olympia's, it's kind of we're the mid-century shop, and when it comes to the service, and we're the restoration when it comes to early 1900s, and it's the same machines over and over again, which is really helpful for the apprentice staff, because by that repetition they're really learning the machines instead of constantly having to switch back and forth between so many. I mean, because that's we're spoiled, and at the same time it's exhausting, like having to know every single make and model and this and that and this and what year was that and what changed there and what screw was it. It's the same machine. So it's a good problem to have for the educational standpoint, and it makes us quicker, it makes us better, it makes us faster. Especially with the apprentices, they learn, oh, well, don't do that next time, and lucky for them, next week they get to try it again because another machine comes in. So but it's nothing really ever too exciting comes in the shop. I think the most exciting machine we've had was a Hermes Rocket Ukrainian Cyrillic machine that came in a plastic body, and it was a brick. It was just this little brick of a machine, and so we had to do some extreme chemical process to it. We try not to use anything too harmful in the shop or anything, but it wasn't waking up. It was like dealing with some of the facets is like, okay. And so finally we got it running, but that was kind of the most exciting machine we've had recently.
Okay. Do you ever get things like thermal typewriters, or maybe even what is it, typographs?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
No, we don't even. The weirdest thing, the only thing we've been called for, we got called to restore a teletype, a Western Union teletype, a few months ago, and we ended up referring it to a friend here in Philadelphia who works on the battleship New Jersey, rebuilding their teletypes. And so we were like, nope, let's not dive into something, let's not put ourselves in a position or the client into a position. Let's just pass it on to the people who know, what they're doing with it.
Okay.
And so he comes in every once in a while, and he keeps us up to date on what he's been doing with the machine, which is nice from, education from afar. It wasn't something that we were prepared to take on in-house.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Bill.
Yeah,
It's good to
thanks.
see you.
Thank you, Gregory. Good to see you.
Brian, how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I was just thinking thermal typewriters and typographs and things are a lot more like vintage computers than they are like typewriters.
That's true.
A lot
That's
more in
true.
common with like a Tandy 100 or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
What's going on?
What's a typograph?
I've been working on my SG1. I got it. It wasn't advancing the ribbon right. It was working one way, but when reversed the other way, it didn't work. And I was able to look in there, and I found out there was a spring that returns one of the dogs back to touch the gear. And I was just able to shorten the spring a little bit and tie it back up, and it worked great. I was very proud of myself.
Nice. Yeah.
And I ran.
I think
Go ahead.
Sorry, I think Daniel was asking what a typograph is. Did you want to explain that, or shall I?
Oh, please let me.
Okay.
It's a plotter that's a typewriter. So it has pens in it, and as you type, it draws the letters out. I have one
Oh
right
yeah,
over
because
here.
you,
Hold
you
on.
actually have one. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that is
He,
cool.
he once sent me a letter that he typed on his typograph, and it's not functioning 100%. So you get some
Ted
like
beat me to it.
the line
Yeah.
goes down and
It's more organized than I am.
You get a very interesting hand out of these things these days.
yeah. Oh, your Ted has one.
Yep.
Ted beat me to it. He's too fast.
How does yours work, Ted?
What was that?
How does yours work?
It has been a years-long struggle trying to find the right pens for it. I have done things like load old pencil leads in the cartridges to get it running again, and like refilling the cartridges with felt tip pens and stuff. And each time you do that, you get a different drawing style out of it because the pressure on the pens themselves are different depending on what the media you're writing with.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting, but it's very hard to keep it going because the pens, they'll dry out, and the leads only last for a couple sentences before they're too dull to, go any further. The amount of leeway you have in as far as where the mechanism will press the pen up against the page is just like fractions of a millimeter. So
I actually found some new old stock pens on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all dried out when I got them. So I did Ted's trick of putting them in hot water and taking them in and out, and just eventually letting water get in there and loosen up the ink. But
Wow.
they didn't work when I got them. It was a sealed package, and it didn't work when I opened it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if it's an oil-based ink or is it water-based?
I think it's water based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it does dissolve in water, but I mean it's in a pressurized cartridge, so you get a little bit of water sneaking past the ball. That's the only thing you're getting inside the cartridge, unless someone has a better way to do it. But if you try making things to put in there or using pieces of pencil or things like that, like Ted's done, it works. But you get, like you said, the clearance is very precise. So at the point where it's a fraction of a millimeter smaller than it should be, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I've got this mechanism that these plotters run on is called an Alps mechanism, and it was used in many plotting machines of that like mid 80s flavor. Like you'll see Radio Shack has plotter printers that run, and all the different companies had plotters. Printer type plotters that would run with these things, but each one of them takes a slightly different size pen. So like I bought some Atari pens recently that were like perfectly inked, but they're just like half a millimeter too short.
I've got a Radio Shack pocket computer that has a dock that has a printer built into it, and it's a plotter. It's an Alps plotter.
Mm-hmm.
And
cool.
The pens are not compatible. So
yeah, it's there was a whole like that whole mid 80s time period was a lot of these things came out and then just as rapidly disappeared.
Yeah.
And so we're stuck with all the detritus, and maybe we can get them working, maybe not.
Yeah,
so
I remember
right
that's mid 80s. We had plotters for making graphs for our reports of our experiments in chemistry and so on and so forth, and it was very cool. We had big plotters that used to be connected to a mainframe, and that was. And then after that, I guess the dot matrix printers came out.
The impact dot matrix printers were around at that time, but they were very loud, used a lot of power. So things that were mobile were usually either pen or eventually thermal when they came around to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the inkjet that killed the plotter more than anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least the small portable plotter.
Yep.
Like you can still get big plotters that
Oh yeah. Yeah.
are,
Big HP plotters with
Yeah.
real markers in them. So I also found this this stapler. It's,
postage
Oh.
B5,
B5B.
B5B.
Ooh, but trying to read that on this was so hard. I mean, you can't even tell there's letters in there.
Yeah.
It has this textured paint over all the surfaces that's very, very textured.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Wow.
bustage on the top. I probably can't read that either. Nope, nothing.
No.
Not in the camera.
No, I had it under my really good light, and I was looking at it with just to see anything on it. But it says all kinds of stuff. It's just all barely legible. Anyways, I figured out it was a Bosch B5B, and that's pretty cool. It does this weird thing that Ted already knows, but to load it, it doesn't load like swing line staplers do. It goes up and out.
Oh.
Yeah, those are actually the staplers I remember from school. That's what they had in the schools down here.
Wow. Heavy duty.
Yep. So this found that, and apparently they made this basic design from like the 30s to the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not changed very much, but some of them had paint on the bottom, some didn't, some had screws on the pads. I read the American Stationer's blog about that, and it's
Ah.
very interesting. Very long
Yeah.
article for such a small stapler, but very cool. Lots of information.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got that, and I worked in the SU. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. The SU1 and this, and
Brian, I've got a question for you.
yes, sir.
Being that you're a musician, how well does your Electra 220 behind you play when it's plugged into the amp like that?
Well, it's a 120, and it works sporadically. I don't have a better joke for that. Yeah, it does look like it's plugged in.
It just sort of looks like it's plugged into the amp. Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
He can rock out on his typewriter.
Rocking out on the 120.
I don't have a pickup in there. I read about somebody who had a pickups on his IBM Selectric. We just pick up vibrations in the metal. You can do that with this, with a magnetic pickup. Just pick up the rattles and clangs of the typewriter.
Yeah.
But I don't think the typewriter needs to be any louder than it is.
No.
If I was typing in Wembley Stadium, I would want to have a nice pickup on my typewriter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't type that loud myself. I like quiet typing.
I wonder how. What's that?
Sorry, I was just going to say, in December, I drove up Boston Typewriter Orchestra, put out a call for an IBM Selectric. And so
yeah.
Brian, the shop, we finished one. We customized it the way they want. They didn't want any sound insulation. They wanted the dust covers out. Like we made sure that it was an instrument for them. And then I drove up with my girlfriend, and we drove up to Boston and dropped off the machine to them. So I'm still waiting to see what Chris and the guys end up doing with this electric and how they're gonna implement it into the orchestra. But
Wow.
You probably
Yeah,
use piezoelectric pickups, the stick-on kind on all the body panels and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna ask. I wonder how they mic it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, excellent. All right. Well, it's so good to see you, Brian.
Good to be here. Good to see everybody.
Excellent. And Ted, how are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
I'm muted again.
Yeah.
I hit it and then someone hit it again.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'm recovering from my month of posting twice a day.
Yeah. You deserve a good long vacation from that.
I am doing much less posting now,
Yeah.
but I am, keeping up with the mail. I just sent out 2 letters yesterday.
Very good.
So Susan and Larry will be getting their letters.
Nice.
And I don't know, just getting stuff together that I've scanned and organizing it, and building a Corona 4 and Zephyr Bible.
Ah, yes, yes.
We're gonna see if we can get that done. And maybe an Underwood portable one too. I think I've got
Ooh.
enough stuff finally to put together an Underwood portable one.
Same
Ooh,
era as the
nice.
four, the four.
Yeah,
bank
like
right there?
the earlier, not the 3 bank, but the 4 bank.
Yeah, perfect.
So I finally have
Very cool.
service and parts and typefaces and tools. So those are the important things to get together.
Oh yeah, yeah. Excellent. And remind us what typewriter you have there?
This is a Groma Calibri.
Ah, yes,
I
yes.
thought that was like one of the most recognizable typewriters on earth.
Yeah.
Not by me, apparently.
Not in that angle. If you do like a 3/4 angle, we could tell what it was.
Oh yeah.
You can't tell how flat
Yeah.
it is in the picture.
Yeah, I'll use that as my excuse.
Well, this carriage lever should tip you off.
I
Yes,
know,
it
but
is.
you know.
Big wide mouth,
Yeah.
big
It's
toothy
smiling
grin.
at me. Very cool. And
Yeah.
it looks like you're typing for your notebook. That's good.
Oh, I'm typing typewriter overload. My thoughts on typewriter overload,
Ooh, excellent, excellent.
and I feel ambivalent about it.
Yeah,
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
yeah.
It seems like you're always balancing the feeling of having too many and not having enough. So
Yeah, yeah.
there's the constant tug and pull, push and pull.
Yeah.
Get them in, get them out. But I don't know. I've been pretty disciplined lately. I went for a whole year without buying any.
Yeah.
That didn't
Wow.
stop them from coming, but
Yeah.
you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
yeah, let's see. I'm just kind of relaxing right now.
Yeah. Excellent. Very cool. Well, it's
So what
good.
year?
Oh, go ahead.
What year is that Calibri? Because it has like the Perspex paper cards.
I think it's
My
a
car-
64.
Oh yeah, okay.
The guy I got it from was a news reporter, and he had stickers on the original case from like political rallies from like around 1964, 65. And apparently he had gotten it as a free gift from an importer here in America, where they had a whole bunch of these QWERTY Calibri ends in this green kind of color scheme that they were giving away to reporters to try and promote them. Because apparently that was kind of towards the end of when the East German typewriter companies were offloading all of their old models onto, export markets. And, apparently in the very early 60s, these Calibris came into the country at, boatloads full of them. And that's where a lot of these QWERTY ones come from. And that's where he got it, is he got it free from the distributor.
And I'm curious because it has the same color scheme. I could be wrong, but I think it looks like the ones that the Canadian importer brought, which were called the the
Humber 88s.
Humber. Well, they did a Humber Calibri.
Oh, okay.
And there's one in a typewriter database, and it's there should be more because unless these were only imported for Canada, and with something specific. But for the longest time, I thought if I were going to find a Calibri, it would be the Humber type.
Yeah, because that was probably pretty prevalent in the Canadian market. Like these Calibri ends is what they're called down here. They have a plastic badge that says Calibri N. And it's it's just kind of a down market version of the Calibri Luxus. So No bichrome, no tabs, nothing like that.
Let me try to find that Humber.
Let's go on a hunt.
Let's go on a hunt. Yeah, it might be. I don't know if he put it under Umber or not. No. Or was it Optima Humber? Optima. Oh darn.
I know this is so interesting to see us look up stuff on the internet.
Well,
The internet.
when I find it, I'll post a link in the chat.
Okay.
Apparently, it's filed weird.
It is.
Okay.
It is. That I ran into it, but I can't find it now.
Well, I know how to get to it. Let's see. Sign in. There's
Well,
a
I know
search function.
I know who's the owner, the hunter, but I can't do a search on a person. I don't think.
I just type it into Google. His site's indexed really well. Google find it faster than his search.
Humber 77. I found it.
Ah.
No, wait, that's an Optima.
No.
Never mind.
No.
Oh.
77 is a bigger machine. I'm just gonna go with maybe grow.
Oh, here we go. Groma Humber is what he filed it
Groma
under.
Humber.
It's Uwe Wachendorf.
Yeah,
Yeah, look up the 1960 Groma Humber.
I got it. And so that's why I thought yours. Look at the color.
Yeah, they're. I think they probably just standardized the color so that they can just pump a bunch of them out real cheap. Especially if they were just throwing together the last of the model. This was pretty much the last of the Calibris ever made.
Yeah, except it
These
doesn't have
import models.
plastic. Doesn't have the Perspex card holder.
Yeah, his doesn't. It has the double triangle metal ones.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I was thinking maybe like it's. It's got also the the tricky made in Germany instead of made in the DDR or.
Yep, mine says made in Germany.
But the rusted one that I have,
Mhm.
which is too bad, it's too rusted. But that one doesn't say made in Germany. It says made in East Germany.
Oh, well, we were friendlier, I guess, in 1964.
Is that the one you're talking about right there?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Excellent.
So yeah, it's that has a different space bar too. It looks like it has a metal space bar. Mine has a plastic one.
Yeah, my two Calibris have metal spacebar, like a steel one. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's green plastic, just like the keys.
Oh wow, that is flat.
Yeah, they're super flat machines.
Oh man. It looks like the top row of keys is higher than the ribbon cover.
It is.
Yeah, slightly.
Wow. Some excellent photographs of it.
Yeah, so that's what a 60s Calibri looks like.
Wow.
Ooh. The internet's a magical place.
There's a good look at the space bar.
Oh, mine also has a different line space selector on it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you scroll up a little, right there, lower. There you go.
Oh, that one.
He
Oh
has,
yes.
He has at the top of the well, let me show you mine. Right here, I don't have that lever on the top. Mine's on the side. And it's a plastic
Oh,
one.
okay.
So there are differences, obviously.
Yeah.
Like he says this is a 1960, so Yeah, so there's about 3 or 4 years between these two.
Look at that serial number, 666. Oh my
It's
goodness.
not the devil.
Bum, bum, bum.
Are you saying something about too
666.
many typewriters, Greg?
Yes, typewriter overload.
Is this
Oh my
overload to
goodness.
have? This is my a Levi's jeans shelf. And so I have all of my ultra portables here, and there's 2 full shelves of ultra portables. So I think on this shelf in total, I think there's about 150 typewriters. Yeah, about
Wow.
100. Yeah, I think there's about 100. So there's all these ultra portables, and then there's mid-size on the other side, and then we've got some desktops along the top here. And this is my newest acquisition, which I put on the Typewriter Alliance Instagram. So it's got this is an H model of Royal, and it's really astoundingly good condition. I was talking about it last night, and I haven't cleaned it yet. So, and then I have a couple of little things here for my grandparents' telephone. And this is the cool thing, I think, though, is this typewriter factory. I believe it's a nameplate from a machine in the
Wow.
Royal factory. And then I think this color is pretty uncommon for the Model T. I think they call it antique ivory. So anyway, and then I've got my Filipino shelf that my dad sent back from the Philippines. So in the 70s. So
Wow,
anyway,
that's cool.
yeah.
I don't see anything
I thought-
stacked on top of each other, so
Yeah,
No,
not
no,
overloaded.
it's managed
we're
really
doing
well.
we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
It has to be taken over your
it's
house to be
taken-
called overload.
It's taken
Yeah.
a long time, but this one's like gem of the day. This Porta-Write is really beautiful. It was a gift from a typewriter friend for doing some work for them, cataloging their massive collection. So
Ah.
yeah, anyhow, I just thought I'd talk about typewriter overload, and I definitely
you go.
have too many, but they're managed. I have them stacked against that wall this way. So I mean, that's okay, right? They're stacked.
Oh, no, there you go. Just
There's
stack
a
them on
stack,
top
yeah.
of each other. Now you're
Yeah.
overloaded.
Jenga style.
Have you looked up what the load floor rating is for your apartment?
For my what?
The load floor limit for your place where you live.
Well, I'm on the ground floor, so I'm not.
Oh, there
I'm
you
not
go.
too worried about it. Yeah.
Is there a basement?
Is there what?
Is there a basement?
This is the garden level.
Okay, so you're great.
Yeah.
You're golden. You're fine.
Yeah.
I got it figured out. Yeah. So yeah,
Excellent.
took a long time to get this many, but only 5 years, I guess. I'm at about 200. So
Wow.
anyway, yeah, it is overload. So I would like to encourage people to refine what you want. Like I found my list of 7 typewriters that I love the most, and they're this white Olympia, which is the pearl
Ooh.
white.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a John Lewis Mechanical Antiques restoration, and that was my first typewriter I bought from him. And I also bought a Vogue Royal just by asking for it. I don't know. I guess magic happens, I guess, if you're in the right place at the right time. I'd gotten this and it glowed like, amazingly. And so I love white and I love black typewriters. I think it's such an interesting contrast of white because it can get so dirty so easily. And I would just encourage people to go to a type-in and try out as many typewriters as they can. And I didn't really get that chance because a lot of this mass came during the pandemic. And I mean, a lot of them just came in bulk. I got, I don't know, 12 or 15, probably 4 or 5 times, which is incredible, to stumble across, like, a closed shop or somebody just like getting rid of them. And I'll say, like, typically, if you find one that's really nice and you just ask the person, well, do you have any more? They'll usually have more. A lot of times there's just like, where there's one, there's usually 3. And that's normal people. So, yeah.
200 in the case
Like
of some
cockroaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you have a Royal Eldorado there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, this thing is rough. It came from the gal I bought my shelf from, and it was just like neglected in a basement. So it needs some work. Yeah, it's not even worth pulling out. I'll just let it sit there and be sad.
It looks
You
cool from
guys
the
really
side.
want to see it? It's
I
just
I
got-
do actually, because those are on my wish list.
Oh, really? Well, this
Yeah.
thing is just a piece of work. So it's dirty. Like, really, it's got some scratches.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
What
I
she
don't
means
mind
to say,
scratches.
Gregory, is
But
that
I
it's
think it could
available
get
for
clean.
sale.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, if you're interested, find me on Typhouse and make me an offer. This lady just really wanted to get rid of like all of the typewriters, and she moved to Boston. And so I think I took like 15 from her at one time, and that was just overwhelming. That was typewriter overload. I was like, how many more are there? And
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it. I was like, really? And she's like, well, I have this other one. And I was like, ew, I'm gonna let you take that. And she's like, yeah, I'll just throw it away. Because it had like, it was a coronet and it had a mouse nest in it. And oh God, I want to throw up. I'm gonna throw up now. So this is the Eldorado. It's actually not too bad. It's got some like I said, it's gonna need some love. It's gonna need
Yeah.
love.
I only have so much love to give.
Oh, I don't think it's
Mostly
too
cleaning.
bad. It seems to be functioning.
Yeah.
Needs feet. It's not too bad. It's gonna need a little cleaning out. Yeah. There's an Eldorado.
Do you know if the parts of that, like for example, the ribbon cover is that completely interchangeable with like the Royalites?
Yeah, well, I just so happen to have a Royalite right next to it.
There are 3 different identical looking covers for the Royalite. They are all shaped differently slightly.
Oh,
Yeah, well, this one is very similar in appearance.
you just shattered my dreams, Ted.
That's what Ted
It's
does.
depending on
Let's
what
just-
year span they were made in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one looks almost the same because it's got the rope for the rest, or well, cotton for the rest, and it's also got the oval name model, and
Give
it's
it a
got
try.
very similar knobs. So let's just give it a shot.
Yeah, please do.
Oh yeah,
I'm
so
very
this
curious.
goes to the
Oh.
back to lift it up because it's got the springs
Oh,
down
yeah.
in the
It
front.
looks just like the one you had.
It really does. They're very similar. So yeah, I think they're the same.
Stick it on.
Yep. So this is you want the serial number on this Royalite? Would that make you happy?
No.
Well, to know kind of where it came from, like this one is RL-4297641. And this one is, I can't quite read it because it's so dirty. But let's see if that one actually fits.
Yeah.
It's a good fit. How about that?
Oh wow.
Here we
Wow.
go. Frankenstein.
What
Wow.
unholy business is this?
Pretty neat. Pretty cool. Now you've got gray and
Nice.
gold. So
It's typewriter abomination time.
there you are. And this one is a similar serial number, but it's 4451789. So I think that's the same number of digits, not too many apart,
Yeah.
not
Cool.
too many. There you go.
Excellent.
Now you know.
Well, yeah, thank you for trying that.
You're
Very
welcome.
cool.
I'm happy to oblige.
Now I actually have mine is actually Royal Companion, early 60s era, but it's the Royalite. It
Mhm.
just happens to say Companion. So interesting. Yeah, that
This one's
I might have to reach
go.
out to you and
Yeah, do it.
see about that.
We need to pay bills. This is the
Oh,
tower, but this one stinks. Like
oh,
mothballs stinks, but
oh boy.
really needs to be done over. But I love this tower chieftain. It's
Chieftain 3.
fabulous. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a handsome machine if it was in good shape. I mean, it is, but it just oh, I want to throw up. That's why I don't take. I wanna throw- this
She
is
could
my
go at
day of
any
throwing.
time.
Yeah, and then this one's kind of a rare bird. I don't use that word very often. I think rare is a swear. So this one's an AMC, but
Oh,
it's a
wow.
Jappy. And I
Huh.
love it. It's so fun to type on. It's got like the computer style of keys.
Yeah,
So they're like boxy and square.
That's pretty
yeah.
rare.
And yeah, there's like a Jappy very similar to this on Etsy right now. But I love that cover. Like it's kind of almost like faceted kind of.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
it's such a cute little typewriter. And it came with a snap-on cover. I sold it to a gal and I saw how she treated it. And I just bought it back from her. I'm like, here, take some money. And this is more than I was like, you can't have this typewriter. And I just, I took it back, gave her another typewriter. I was like, you can't mistreat this. So, and obviously sometimes you have to be good custodians of them. So
Yes.
anyway, there's your typewriter tour.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any more
Awesome.
questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
That little,
All right.
your little carriage return lever that folds out in 2 steps. Reminds me
It's
of
so
this.
cute. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Look at it.
nice.
Yeah. So it clicks vertical
Mhm.
and then it tucks back and in. Yeah. It's pretty much the greatest. That's a great little design. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I want to see more Franken typers. What else can you mash together there?
I don't know. Oh, so here's for your curiosity and to complete the cycle. That's the black with the gray and the gold.
Ooh,
Franken typer.
tricolor.
Yep.
Nice.
Very snazzy.
Wow.
I feel like Royals are a good candidate for them since there's so many of those I run across a lot that are like, is this a QDL or is it an arrow or what is this thing that they seem to have? Like at the end of the year, they're like, well, we don't have quite enough parts to make anything else, but let's put them together and we'll just slap a QDL name on it and it'll be good enough for them until the next iteration comes out.
Excellent. Ted, was there anything else new with you, or did you want to read what you've written there, or yeah?
I have not yet finished.
Oh, okay, okay, excellent.
I
Well,
have
it is.
spoken.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, it's always good to see you, of course.
It's good to
So-
see you guys too.
And Sean, how are you?
You can't push a creator. Ted will be ready when he's ready.
I know. Huh?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thanks. Happy Sunday to everybody, and things
Yeah.
are good. So Ted had his Calibri out, so I brought mine out. I just got it. I've been wanting one for years. So here's the side view you were looking for.
Nice. Yes.
So that's 2.5
Oh,
inches tall.
Pretty.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's super. Like, and I gotta say, like, they're super. As Ted will tell you, or anybody that uses one, they're very snappy for such a teeny weeny typewriter. and this one is hospital green over
Oh,
hospital yellow. Like hospitals from the 60s and the 50s that were really made you want to throw up. But I love it. I think it's great. Anyway, this is the Luxus version. So what Ted was mentioning is the N version. This is the A version, and they fit the ribbon selector into this, and it's got 4-line spacing, which I just noticed yesterday. So you can go all the way up to 4 lines, which I think is astounding for a teeny weeny little portable like this. Anyway, yeah, it's missing a couple parts, like a the
paper wrist.
yes, thank you, paper rest Sunday morning.
Yes.
So that
We're
was
playing
broken.
charades today.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's missing a couple parts, but it's no big deal. It types well, and it seems fun.
Do you have your line selector on the side?
Yeah, it's this little one right back here.
Yeah, so it's like a little peg that sticks out the side.
Yeah, just
that's
a little.
like mine. I
Yeah,
have the same selector you got.
yeah.
So I
And then
have.
it's got the little window in the front.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have four set spacing too, 5 positions.
And then the first one is F or something like that, where I guess it's free, means free or something maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Interesting. What year is yours?
62.
Okay, so maybe that was just a later in the 60s thing.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, this is actually the case in the lid is actually stamped August 28th, 1962.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then when I ran it through your TWDB, it basically based on the serial number range for 62, it looked like it was near the end. So it definitely is an August, September typewriter for sure with its case, which is cool. So anyway, yeah. I don't know. I thought they ended after 62 because it's sort of like the serial number seemed to end there, but if they went on, they just dumping stuff afterwards, I guess, Ted.
There's a thing that happens after 1962 and all the serial number records.
Yeah.
Is that they're really, really good up to 1962. And then everything just kind of disappears.
Yeah.
And that's basically because of all these imports coming in from Europe and Japan. Japan had started importing brother machines into the US market, and there were lawsuits flying back and forth between Smith Corona and the Japanese manufacturers and everything. And everybody kind of shut down the free giving away of how many machines they had made that year, because it was very important in these lawsuits to, have some sort of obfuscation about how much, how many machines you were putting out in the market of certain types. And so it got real stingy about the information sharing about that.
Typewriter Black Ops.
Yep. So sometimes you'll find stuff. A lot of like the NAMDA and OME have all tried to basically poll their member dealers to see, what serial number machines do you have in your inventory right now, new from the manufacturer, and they would take those numbers and put them in, and that's when it starts getting kind of blurry as to where the lines are. And then later on in the 60s, you start getting people switching over to date coded serial numbers.
Right.
And so you'll start seeing really weird million serial number jumps every year. And that's just because it's a date code now instead of a serial number. But yeah, that whole time when European imports started flooding into the American market, people got real stingy about their serial number data after that point.
Well, there you are. So even the typewriter market with dog eat dog, everybody trying to do their thing. Yeah, no, thanks, Ted. That's good. Yeah, so Calibri Day. I also got a bunch of tins for cheap, which I just bought them because I like typewriter tins, but they came with carnations. So I really always like the Miller lines because you get the diamonds and the elks.
Nice.
That and then
and they're super fine.
Yeah, and they're super fine. Miller line is super fine. Later carnation, but then I got the other stuff like my half and half tobacco for my pipe, which I don't have. But
not for your coffee.
Yeah, or your half and half for your coffee. Yeah, put your tobacco in there. That'll really get you jumped up.
Oh boy.
But I love the old things. A cargo of contentment in the bowl of any pipe. A cargo of contentment. Oh, So wonderful.
That's really cool. Didn't they have a moon theme to that Half and Half Tobacco?
Did they have a what?
They had a moon and sun theme to it, I think.
Oh,
I'll
have
see
no
if I can
idea.
find it.
I don't get into pipe tobacco that much. Yeah, so was just sort of a.
I like
a
the moon
add-on.
designs.
Yeah, I got plastic tape tin, which I thought
Oh,
was a Scotch tape
wow.
thing, but this is an electrical tape.
Oh, okay.
Apparently. So our finest for electric wiring. And then a whack of Lucky Strike flat 50 tins.
Oh,
Those are
nice.
neat.
All in,
Oh my
all in varied
gosh.
conditions. That one's a little worn. That one's really good, but everyone was missing just a little piece of something somewhere. And then this one was like run over by a truck, it looks like. But yeah,
Oh, those are
Yeah.
sweet. I love those.
yeah
You
they're
should trade one, Sean.
awesome. But yeah, I mean, tins these days, like everything typewriters, is going a little crazy. So, people think their tins are worth like 50, 60 bucks and all sorts of weird stuff. And so it's harder for us real hunters to go through. Oh, Danielle's back. Danielle, a quick question for you on Groma Calibris. You've got 2 crappy machines you're going to make one good one of. However, do you happen to have 2 paper rests? And if you do, would you have 1 paper rest eventually after you're done building your good one that you would sell your crappy one?
Sean, I'm so sad to say that
Oh.
the only good paper rest, the
Only
good
came on the one.
I have is actually with the good carriage
Right.
that I'm going to use. And that's the I'm not showing the finger here. It's a really good one, and the other one is broken. Like the whole thing is ripped off. So
Yeah, same as mine. I think lazy people didn't put them down before they put the case on.
or kids. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
But listen, I don't know if you were there when I talked about mine, and I've replaced the type bars
Yeah.
from the old machine to the new one. So I made it French Canadian, but I'm gonna have a bunch of parts, and so everybody in TypePal and beyond that might be looking for parts, I'll have those, because like all these key tops, I replaced 3, and I have like the rest of the keyboard and a bunch of stuff. Just that it's just not able to have a complete. It's not possible for me right now. I don't have enough of the good parts to make 2 machines. I need to combine the 2.
This is the problem. You eventually need a 3rd parts machine and then a 4th parts machine so you can get 2 working. And then the math just goes from there.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you. So the right platen knob has a little screw that goes right through the right platen knob. Don't over tighten it, because that has weakened over the years, and I just broke my right platen knob in half last night. I didn't really like give it the gusto, but I just tightened it and all of a sudden it just popped off. So FYI. And if you have an extra right platen knob when you're all done, yeah, love that.
I might, but the problem is going to be to take it off, because the other whole carriage assembly is in my basement, but that is the most rusted, destroyed part of the old typewriter, of the rusted typewriter, which is newer than the good one.
Yeah.
But I have 2 intact platen knobs. So I'm gonna try to get this thing apart. Even the platen might be saved, and so on and so forth. But it's so stuck. I'm not able right now to turn any of the knobs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the other thing. The Luxus has what they called, I forget in the manual, it was bad English. The whole manual was written very badly in English, like the grammar was horrible. It's funny to read. But the right platen knob on the Groma is called a rapid paper infeed. And so it has all this gearing in the right-hand side platen. So when you stick your paper in, you would just turn your right platen knob, and it has all these gears that obviously up the platen speed to flip your paper in. This one's not working, which is why I was trying to screw around with it, which is why it broke. I formed it a little too much. Anyway, so,
Gears,
yeah.
like an epicyclic, like an
Sorry?
epicyclic system to
Yeah, there's looks like there's 3 little gears in there, and I don't know,
triangle.
like I was trying to get it apart. There's one has 2 gears on it, and they're a little bit different, and they're like right up against each other. So I had the feeling that you could pull to do just normal and then push to maybe do the rapid thing, but it's slipping. So I haven't gotten in there yet to take a look at the gears just to see how that's set up, because that little screw does not actually pull that knob off. I think you've got to get it from the other side and pull the whole thing apart. But I broke the knob, got upset, went to bed last night and cried for a bit. So anyway, it's okay now. You guys, I'm here with you guys.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to save the knob?
I already put it back together. It's okay. I
That's good.
epoxied it
Good to hear.
all back together and got it finished. Anyway, so that's it for me, Gregory. Good seeing you. Thank you. Oh, typewriter overload? No, I've never felt typewriter overload. I think I would, though, if you made it work. If you made it something you forced yourself to do, like you forced yourself to get to it every day, or you said, I gotta fix these typewriters. Like sometimes if you go for weeks or a month not doing it, that's okay. That's what you need to do. And I've never felt overload. I just sometimes don't type for a while. You know, I don't go and look at a typewriter for a while. And when I feel like it, I do it.
Okay. Excellent.
And that's my prompt.
I see
Nice.
Joe's got a brand new Brother Daisy wheel from about the late 90s to the early aughts.
Oh.
Yes, I do. Hi, guys. So
Hello.
this is something I got from the type-in yesterday, and I was just noticing here, there's this little Brother International thing. It's like your questionnaire, you know, registration, but it has a date of copyright 1996 on it. And there is a
1996.
stakes, and it expires in November 97. So it's probably made around 96.
Wow.
And yes, it works. And it even came with a spare ribbon cassette.
Nice.
And I was just looking here, and this might be something maybe Ted already has, but this is an ordering sheet for all the different models of Brother Daisy wheels, like a chart, and I guess what kind of type ribbon cassettes and maybe type wheels, you know, that they use. I don't know.
Get it.
I'll scan it and send it to you or whatever, maybe.
Also, what's the serial number on that machine?
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, the keyboard cover doubles as the paper support.
Ah,
Here. So
nice.
and they actually had to remind me of that. So the serial number is G 76362169.
That's 1997.
1997.
Ah, yes.
There you go.
Wow.
But it looks like brand new. It does have the noticeable delay between pressing the key, you know, and when we get the response. And let's see. You know, it's a bit loud, but I don't think it's any louder than my Type Bar electrics. So like a Smith Corona 6 series are kind of loud also. The one thing I do notice is it's almost like a semi understrike, in the sense that you can only see the top half of the line as it's being printed directly, but it has this other mode where when you put in the other mode, you see the words scroll through the LCD screen here. And what's funny is the carriage will move, the ribbon drive will move as you're typing, but not type anything. Then when it gets to the right margin and you do a carriage return, it moves the print head back, and then it prints it. So it's able to do that because you have this mode where you can do like a right margin flush or other kinds of, you know, justifications and all that. So that's kind of the automatic mode where you can edit the line before it actually prints. But yeah, so it is kind of a blind typewriter if you're using it in the direct mode. You can't really see what you're typing. And until you do a carriage return, and then you see, oh, I just made a big mistake there. But Actually, it's very lightweight. It has a handle built in. It's kind of a nice little machine, but it has all the accessories with it, all the paperwork and the user's manual and all that. And I'm thinking, Ted, when I make a trip out your way, I think it's going to be later this month, by the way. We'll let you know when I do that out to Phoenix area. Maybe I'll bring the paperwork on this and you can scan it if you're interested. Yeah. And we were just talking about this yesterday. Bill Taft and Kevin Kittle and myself, and us three might make a road trip together. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Hey,
Well,
let's see
it sounds like the topic of today was, have you reached peak typewriter? Is that what it was? Kind of
Typewriter overload.
overload. Yes, I had
Yeah.
typewriter overload yesterday. Almost.
That's good overload though.
Yes, it was good. So our type in, pardon me for eating my breakfast here. We had to type in yesterday. It was very successful, better than I thought it would be, because my main concern was the parking situation at the library, because it's in East downtown Albuquerque and there's no public parking lot for the library. So you have to kind of park on the street, and then there's parking meters everywhere. So, but it was good. We had a huge turnout. It was probably more people than in the type-in we had last fall at the other library.
Wow.
So I did shoot a bunch of video. I haven't started editing yet, but I will be putting up a video maybe later today. I was surprised by how many people came with old typewriters that they want to get rid of. And I got this brother. I got a Sears daisy wheel that's probably made by brother. I haven't looked at it yet. Some lady came in and says, I have this old typewriter in my trunk of my car and it's too heavy to lift and I want to give it away. So I felt sorry for her. So I went out, and it was a IBM Model A electric type bar machine from the 1930s.
Oh, wow.
Massive, extremely dirty. I took it and then I gave it to Kevin.
So mean.
Well, I don't have any room. And also, if I was going to get another typewriter, I would really want that, Underwood that I've been lusting after. But anyways.
You want an Underwood 5? Is that what you're lusting after?
Yeah. Well, I mean, John Lewis has one that he's totally fixed up, and it's just gorgeous and works so well.
You got one with a brand new platen you can have for free.
Oh, wow.
Well, it wasn't really the money. It's more like the room, because,
Underwood 5 has a very small footprint.
That's true. Yeah, I know, but I have my table over here that has a Selectric and a KMM, and I'm like, well, I don't know where I'm going to put it. But anyways, I'll think about it. I will think about it. So after the type-in, so it went from noontime till 4, and we actually got there about 11:15 in the morning to set up. And the library had 6 tables. We brought 2 more. And we had 2 tables just full of electric typewriters. I brought 5 electrics, and Kevin brought his personal Selectric, and someone else brought a couple others. So we had a lot of electric typewriters, and they were very popular because a lot of, people that aren't aficionados, people that are novices, the electrics are really good because you don't need any finger strength, right, to operate them. We had surprising several collectors in the Albuquerque area that we never knew about that have a lot of machines. Some guy brought in 3 Blickensderfers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he collects Blickensderfers. And we had some guy that says he's a repair guy, or used to be, and apparently Bill Teff knows him, and he has I think one of my oldest Hermes 3000, which came from Bill, came from him. But this guy is constantly fixing up typewriters. He has hundreds of them in his shed that he goes to and fixes up and sells locally. So we just have so much, people that aren't on social media, aren't connected, that are into typewriters. It's just very surprising.
Was Waz there? Did you meet her?
Yes, Waz was there. Yeah.
Oh,
Great
cool.
gal. Yeah, she was there. It was fun. Yeah, and in fact, we had a table that had like ultra portables and she was there along with a couple other gals, and they were just talking because they're kind of artsy, people, and they were just talking and typing, and it was just so much fun. We had a lot of fun, and I had so much help from our little fledgling typewriter group, because everybody chipped in and immediately was able to answer people's questions. Kevin he fixed somebody's type bar electric. It was like I think it was an Olivetti Praxis 88 or something like that. One of those. He had to pull the chassis out and then unstick I think it was the tabulator, or the tabulator trips the escapement. The escapement was in the trip mode, and so the carriage would not lock, would not stop. So Kevin actually took it apart and fixed it right there. And then we had another old guy that brought in an old, what was it? It was a Underwood leader, I think it was, and it needed a new ribbon. And the only new ribbons that I brought were the DIN size for the German ones when the spools are too big. And so, but Kevin took one of those and rethreaded it onto his old spools. And, so we just had a lot of hands-on help for people. But I was very surprised at how many people came in that wanted to sell or give away their typewriters. Some people this one guy brought in, oh my goodness, he brought in, I don't know what, an old Royal standard typewriter. It wasn't a Royal 10. It was that model somewhere between the Royal 10 and the Royal KMM, somewhere in the 1930s. He brought it in, wrapped in a plastic bag in a wheelbarrow. Literally wheelbarrowed it into the room, and it was full of mud and dust. And he wanted to sell it for $200.
Oh, dreaming.
And so we just, you have these interesting confrontations with people. You just got to say,
you include the wheelbarrow?
I thought the wheelbarrow was worth more, actually.
Oh.
No, it's just, we're not in the business of collecting typewriters, especially big old junky typewriters. So, we're just hobbyists. So we have to get to the point where we kind of say, well, we're not really collecting typewriters. We're just trying to enable people to use them. But
you want typewriters, not your trash.
Yes. So I don't know if you guys saw the little thing, the notice, but last Thursday, a reporter from the Albuquerque Journal showed up at my house and interviewed me, and I made it on the front page of the paper on Friday morning. In fact, my head, my shoulder up was above the fold. So after the type-in yesterday, we all went out to dinner at a local restaurant, and we were sitting there, and Bill Teft started calling me ATF, above the fold. So I guess
didn't even have to kill anyone.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't have to kill anybody. I didn't have to, commit crime or whatever. But yeah, that was fun. We probably stayed till 8 o'clock at this restaurant, drinking and eating and talking. And then I got home, and it was all I could do to offload all the typewriters out of my car into the kitchen. And then I just left them there. And this morning I finally got up, daylight savings, right? You lose an hour of sleep anyways. And then I had to get all the junk out of Andrea's car, so and get all so what I did is I got all the typewriters one at a time back in the office here, put them on the table and tested them, and to make sure that they're all working. And the only machine that really got damaged was the drawstring broke on my Underwood portable, my 1930 Underwood portable. So I have to do a repair on that. But that's just probably because it was old and ready to break. But yeah, I was surprised. I brought all 3 Hermes 3000s. Those were very popular. People liked them because they were so easy to type on. A lot of Smith Coronas. Those are very reliable machines, right? And of course, the Type Bar Electrics were very popular as well. The KMM got a lot of use, and people really loved it because it's really easy to type on. It has a great touch. So, and yeah, so it was a lot of fun. A very good type in. So excited about that.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah, and we gave away, Kevin brought in a little, what is the Royal Dart, I think it is, the one that's made in Holland. He had a little dark gray Royal Dart that we did a giveaway drawing on. And I also had a couple pads of Clairefontaine writing paper. We did a drawing for that. And I think we collected about over 100 contact names and emails from people. So
nice.
So now we're going to sell those addresses to the dark web and make money. No, not really. But the thing was, there's a few people that we noticed that were very typewriter savvy already and wanted to really help. And those people, we kind of have to hoodwink or recruit into our group, like to be the core group that wants to help and set up and tear down and all that. So we have some organizing to do before the next type-in happens, which will probably be this summer sometime. So.
Very good.
Yep.
Excellent.
And also, I have a dilemma for you guys to answer for me. I was in the kitchen this morning and I was heating up a bagel, right? And I noticed on my toaster oven, it has a toast setting and it has a bagel setting. Now, when you use the word toast, it can be either a verb or a noun, right? Like a piece of toast is a noun, but the verb toast is something you do to bread. But the bagel is only a noun. Like you don't say that I'm going to bagel this bagel. And if you toast the bagel, is it still a bagel or is it toast? Because on the toaster oven, it says toast, which I think is a verb and a noun, but the bagel setting is only a noun, right? So someone
I don't know. These days, I think that you could bagel.
You could bagel.
I think you could, yeah, you could be like, I'm going to go bagel now.
Yeah, I know. And so, but if I toast the bagel, is it toast or is it bagel?
I think it's a toasted bagel.
Okay.
Having worked in a bagel shop, I got it.
Bread
Okay.
is
That sounds
bread
pretty
is
authoritative.
toasted.
If your
We're
bagel is
talking about bread.
if your
Yeah,
bagel
we're
is
talking about
destroyed, your
bread,
bagel
but
could be
not
toast.
toasted. The
I mean,
other kind of
that's-
toasted. But
Toast. You're toasting bread or you're toasting a bagel.
well, I guess a bagel is a form of bread, but
Yeah.
If your bagel is destroyed totally, it could be toast.
it could be toast. Yes. And if you're smoking cannabis with the bagel, you're toasted.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
And you can
Yeah,
have a
so-
toast with a glass, Joe.
Toast
Huh?
your toasted bagel.
Oh yes,
You can have a toast with a glass of wine.
that's right. I toast you with my bagel.
I'm
Okay.
apparently at Ted's house, so
Well,
No,
anyway,
teach-
so that was. I'm glad we cleared that up. So now we know that.
I don't know. Did we clear it up?
Well, actually, we haven't, because then there's the whole question of
Made it
toroidal.
less clear.
Toroidal bread is either a donut or it
Obfuscated
has a
it.
hole in it. It's toroidal. So, anyways, that's a whole nother subject. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh.
I'm done being silly, maybe. But yeah, so
Well-
it's a pretty nifty typewriter here. This little electronic one. So
I was just gonna say I actually am very interested in finding a brother daisy wheel. First of all, they're very easy to find, and I suspect the accessories for it are pretty easy to find, much like the Smith Corona.
yeah, I think you're right.
Do you think
and
that's the case?
yeah, I do. I think finding like print wheels and cartridges is probably pretty easy for them.
Yeah.
This particular replacement cartridge it gives you all the model numbers that are compatible with. If I could focus my camera here, let's see. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a whole slew of WP series typewriters and all the AX, GX, ML, SX, WPT, and ZX series and models. There's a bunch of so they're EM series. So this cartridge looks like it's very universal. So
Yeah.
I don't see. So Smith Corona used to have the H series cartridges for their daisy wheels,
Yes.
and this looks like kind of like the same kind of compatibility with the brothers. Like it's a whole bunch of different models
Yeah.
compatible with. So it's 5/16 inch by 525 feet long. So you can't
Wow.
use this in Canada or Europe, only in America because sorry guys.
Does your ribbon data sheet, does it have the correctable ribbon on it, or is it just daisy wheels?
This has a list of a bunch of model numbers for
No, I
this.
meant your sheet that you had.
Oh, the sheet. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. That's a good question. I was trying to decipher it because so it has the type wheels. They go by a 3-digit number. Like, let me see if I can get up close here. Focus. So like model 401, model 402, that's the number on the type wheel, right? And then there are accessories on the right column here. And then on the back side is this huge spreadsheet. And on the vertical column, it looks like WPs. I don't know if those are typewriter models. I don't know what it's trying to tell me here because I don't know what all this stuff is. But anyway, it tells you whether you can get it or not for that model. So it says compatibility chart for typewriter and daisy wheel word processors. Okay, there you go. It's compatibility.
Yeah, WP is the word processors.
Okay. So I guess the daisy wheel numbers are up here. Let's see if I can move it in focus here for you guys. Anyways, so there's a huge chart there, and
yeah,
we'll eventually have Ted put it on the database.
Very cool.
But it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
remind me what model of Brother typewriter.
Oh, this is a SX 4000.
Oh, okay.
So
excellent.
Yes, I don't know if that's good or bad, but
yeah.
It has a 10, 12, or 15 pitch. It has 1, 1.5, and 2 line spacing. It has word spelling. It'll beep at you if you misspell a word or whatever. I have that turned off so it doesn't beep at me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has this little label here on the right, on the ribbon cover. Right over here, there's these optional accessories. Let's see if I can focus and get this in the camera. So optional accessories, the typewriter accessory kit is the SX100. And I don't know what that kit is. Then there's a number for the correction film ribbon and the correction tape. So anyways, so there is a lot of data there about these. And this is also made in the USA from foreign components. So
I have that same typewriter. Mine's a 2002. Did you figure out what year yours was?
I think Ted figured out it was a 97.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's my data on it.
So how do you like yours, Larry?
I don't like the delay on I find the ones without any word processing are the nicest ones because they have the least delay.
Right.
But other than that, it's a good typewriter.
Yeah.
It's got a common ribbon too. That's what's nice about it.
That's right. Right. Yep. Yeah. I think, these Brothers were the last. I guess Brothers and Nakajimas are probably the last daisy wheel typewriters. And I guess Brother quit making them a few years ago. So really it's just Nakajima now. And what is that brand that imports Nakajimas and sells them to prisons?
Swintech.
Oh,
yeah, Swintech. There you go.
Swintech, yeah.
Swintech is probably the last of the. Well, I take it back. You can still buy Brother typewriters on Amazon.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Swintech.
you know what? Actually, I was at Staples, and I believe it was a Brother daisy wheel that they were actually selling there. It was like $270.
How much?
And I think they also had the ribbons as well. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
All overstock. Check the dates on them.
Ah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, so anyways, you'll probably be seeing a video about this eventually.
Oh yeah.
Typewriter. So yeah, it's kind of fun to have it. And it looks like the carbon film ribbon prints pretty well on newsprint paper, which is,
Oh, okay.
not quite as smooth as more modern kind of paper. So it looks like it works pretty well on different kinds of papers. So I don't know how old this ribbon is. I'm assuming it's probably several decades old, this cartridge, but it looks like it's working okay.
It seems like those age pretty well, those film ribbons.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. Very cool. I will definitely be looking for that video because I actually love daisy wheels.
So I have a handful of these slips of paper that the library staff got from people calling up the library wanting to know if I would take their used typewriter.
Oh,
so I haven't called any of these numbers because I don't know what kind of typewriters they are, and I don't have any room for any typewriters. But anyways,
I think I would call them and ask them what kind of typewriter and say,
yeah, I could probably do that.
Wanted to know. Thank you. Or yeah.
If it was something, oh, I think it says Hermes something. Oh, I'll be right over.
I
Danny.
know. You just
You know,
Are
never
you
know.
suffering from typewriter overload?
It's
I
not
am
in a
actually.
thrift store. You never
I
know
am
what's in
suffering
a
from
thrift store.
typewriter overload.
Excellent.
Well, that's about all for me. It was a great time,
Okay.
and it was a good type in.
That is very good to hear.
Mhm.
And it's always good to see you, Joe.
Thanks. Good to see
Yeah.
you guys.
And I looked up the article about you from the newspaper, and I shared the link in our Facebook group. So
Oh, fantastic! Thanks.
yeah. Very cool. Susan, how are you doing? Susan, did you recently have a type in as well?
No, I'm going to have one on April.
Going to have one.
April the 15th. I'm going to have
Okay.
one. So yeah, I posted about that on the Facebook pages yesterday to remind everyone. So that's coming up, and I'm fine. And I do and I don't have typewriter overload. I don't, because my collection is still good. I haven't gotten anything new, but my husband is still collecting. So that's a problem. But he's having fun. So I'm glad about that. This week he found an electric. It was a Sears, it's Smith Corona branded, a Sears branded Smith Corona, a Type R electric, and he really loves it because it's very easy for him to type on. So, and hidden inside of it was some change of type keys. There's a little shelfy thing in there. And so some mathematical keys. And so that was cool. But he didn't know what that was. So I had to explain all that to him. But yeah, that was fun. And this week I got some great mail. I got a lot of fun mail. So I was going to show some of my mail. I got this awesome postcard.
Neil.
It is from Neil. And he just cut a Ritz cracker box and then typed on a piece of paper and slapped it on there and sent it in the mail. And my postman just loved this. And I loved it too. It was a lot of fun. And then I've told you that my typewriter magician, he has been teasing me unmercifully about my Hermes Ambassador because he thinks they're just too humongous and that nobody needs one. But this week he decided to send me some ephemera about Hermes large standard typewriters. And he sent me this, and it has all the type styles that you can get in an Ambassador or an 8 or a 9. And there's some really neat ones that I've never seen before, like Admiral and Aristos. And so those were cool, but I'm not getting any more Ambassadors. Just one is all I can handle. And then I have a friend who laughs at me because I named my Ambassador Andre the Giant. And so he sent me these amazing, amazing stickers.
Hey.
Yeah.
Big giant.
Of Andre the Giant, okay, which were super, super popular back in the 90s, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can get them on eBay. So now I'm going to buy a whole bunch of them off eBay. I'm going to send them to everybody in my letters. So
cool.
Look forward to getting an Andre the Giant sticker.
You're gonna have to stick one of those on your machine, you know, right?
I don't know that I want to.
Oh.
But maybe I will. Maybe I will. But this week I'm sending the platen off to the magician so that he can get it recovered for me. And then in May, I am doing a thing where I'm driving up there. So I have told everyone in the community that if they have typewriters that they want to get fixed, because we don't have a repair shop in Dallas Fort Worth. I don't know why. So if you're a repair person or you know somebody who'd like to be a repair person and they want to relocate, they can come to Texas and we would be happy to have them here. But anyway, I'm going to be driving people's machines up there with me, and I'm taking Andre to get fixed and totally refurbished because that's the love he deserves. And that's it for me.
Excellent.
No,
excellent.
Susan, it's not it, because you had a blue Olympia SM7 on your
I
desk.
still do. I have a blue Olympia SM7.
Oh
And,
yeah, you were
know,
showing that earlier.
that's my favorite because that's my current, you know.
And this one has the, it's script. It's a script typeface. It's the script 75, the tall script typeface. But the reason I have it out is the young lady that had joined us last week and had an Olympia and was waiting for a Hermes wrote to me, and I was hoping she would be on here today because she wrote to me, and I got the letter yesterday. So sweet that she wrote to me. And I was going to tell her that there's a lot of Olympias that she can collect. And they come in pretty colors. So
Yeah, that's Diane from San Francisco, right?
yes, she's
Yeah.
very sweet.
Yes.
Diane Wang.
Yep.
She's very sweet. And anyway, it was very nice of her to write to me. And so now I have another person. I got a letter from Carlos also this week. I got so much mail, you know, and I'm so grateful. And I will be writing back, but it may take me a little while. But yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So yeah, I have my SM7, which I know a lot of you love this machine. I like it okay, but it's not my favorite SM and my favorite Olympia because I don't really like the pitch of the keyboard.
Oh.
And you know, this is one does not have the springs, I don't think, on it like the SM3s and SM4s. I love my new SM4. A couple weeks ago, I got a new SM4. I really love that one. The brown
Nice.
one. Cocoa.
Yes, yes. Excellent. All right. Well, it's so good to see you, Susan.
It's always good to see you, Gregory. Oh, by the way, Gregory, the this week in my feed was a review of a video that you did a year ago when you got your Hermes baby.
Oh.
The orange one. That day
Yes.
that you were so excited at the thrift store.
Yes, yes.
And I got all excited for you all over again watching it.
Oh. Yeah, that was very, very exciting. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. Neil, how are you doing?
All is well. Everything's good.
Very good.
Not much to report on.
Okay.
I've still trying to figure out the whole bagel question. I do have a issue with some machines. I think I mentioned last week possibility of at least relocating for part of the year to northern Michigan. And I've got it. I really do have to do something. I'm looking this direction because there's a pile of machines over there, but I really do need to do something with probably a lot of them, but I'm not sure how to go about it yet. I think I don't think I know. I kind of got caught up during the pandemic with too much purchasing on Goodwill and whatnot. And there's some machines that I will never part with. And then there's others that are kind of in the middle. And there's some other ones that I would definitely, some of them got just too many of them. I could start a whole showroom of Smith Coronas, I think. But anyway, so I think I'm not sure how to go about it, maybe just individually, but if anybody's interested in acquiring more machines, I'd actually be happy to part with some of them just if somebody wants to pay the shipping to get them. I have some electric or some thermal typewriters and some other, just a variety. So I'm kind of kicking around how to go about doing that and thinning the herd a little bit, but it'll come. Just got to figure out how to go about it. So, but nothing else really going on here. I'm just kind of enjoying sitting back and listening today. So
excellent, excellent. And you have typewriter overload, maybe? No?
yeah. Not that I'm not feeling stress of it at all. At least yet. When the time draws near to have to make some decisions, then probably.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, so I'll kick that around and see. I kind of know what some of you are interested in, some of your favorites. Maybe I'll just send some private messages and no pressure. If somebody isn't interested, that's fine. But
yeah.
I've got some that some people may like. So anyway, that's all from Key West this morning. So.
Okay. Well, so good to see you, Neil.
Yeah, same here. Thanks for doing this, Gregory.
Of course. Care.
Oh, hi. I was kind of just waving at Neil.
Oh.
He sent me a nice letter a while
nice.
back, and I never wrote back because
Okay.
I've been slacking on mail.
It's allowed. It's allowed.
Anybody that writes to me from Type Pals sees that I am not accepting Type Pals. I love getting mail, but I'm just not committing to responding to anybody. But
yeah.
No stress.
Not worth it, right?
Yeah. How is your typewriter usage? Are you typing a lot, typing a little? Because we know you're working on clay.
Yeah. Yes, actually, I haven't been on Type Pals because I end up out in the studio and a lot lately. But on Sunday mornings, it's kind of like open space, and I'm like, Type Pals, clay.
Oh.
Yeah, so clay has been winning, but I wanted to come on and see everybody.
Very nice.
I did. Well, as you know, I had some sort of typewriter overload late last fall, and I did end up letting several machines go, and that was a really good feeling, and it feels a lot more manageable. And I especially like the ones that people are giving to their kids, where they want, and just knowing that it's funny because it's not like I make a business out of it or anything, but I take it very seriously. If I put a machine on Marketplace, I make sure that it's clean, that it's functional. I print out the manual. I put a new ribbon in. I like them to get a good functional machine. I won't sell one that's not functional unless I tell them it's not functional and they want it anyway, which they did sell one of those. The Ultronic, it was sort of semi-functional, but yeah, and then I told myself, then I found this typewriter on Marketplace that was up in Portland, and I was heading up to Portland in a couple weeks, and I had a lot of back and forth with this person, and the price was a little high, but it was one that I had been on my bucket list for a while. And then the day that I went up there were just a lot of factors of overwhelm and not enough time, and I was really going up with a friend for their birthday trip and stuff. And I was just I just cut it loose. And it was so strange because I had worked harder than I usually work to get a typewriter. And I don't regret it. So I think I would have tipped myself into overload if I had gone and gotten that one, even though I still think about it and I still think, maybe she didn't sell it yet.
Oh.
But it wasn't, partly because I haven't been typing much. It was kind of a relief to not get it, which kind of makes me sad. But I've been sort of reorganizing my typewriters, and it's oh, now there's more space. Now I can put all the royals over here and all the front is over here, and and I'm organize. Sorry. That's what doors are for.
Yes.
Organizing them, like I could organize them by year or by color or by style or whatever. Anyway, it's just I'm having sort of more fun having lifted some of the weight. So that's nice. But I haven't been typing very much, and that's sort of odd, but I have a lot of things that I'm thinking about typing, so that counts, right? You work your way back.
Yeah.
Just make sure there's always a typewriter. And I realized also I had a typing table right here behind my desk, and I could just swivel around and type on it, but I was constantly running into it because it's not really that much space here. And so there was starting to be this sort of like irritation factor, and I didn't want to develop irritation factor with typewriters. So I took it out. Now I only have one typing table in this room and two in the other room, and no, three. Anyway, we could talk about typewriter furniture overload. Oh, I have a question. This is maybe not the ideal place, but this desk, a neighbor was getting rid of this desk. I'm not going to really show you the desk because it's covered in papers, but it's a small typewriter desk. Like it's a type, like a wooden desk that had the top that popped up with the, what do you call those? Typewriter desk. The ones where, there's a mechanism where the typewriter goes underneath and then you pop it up again, except that part has been taken out. And so my neighbor was just giving it away. It was sitting on the street. So I grabbed it, but is that a thing like that? I know we get typewriter parts and stuff, but I'm trying to figure out how to make it into a typewriter desk again. And it seems like a thing that you would need to have some pretty serious hardware. Like I can see the holes and stuff where braces were and things. And the top part that lifted up has been sort of nailed down, but that's an easy fix. But does anybody have a typewriter desk handy there that you could just show me what I'm looking for? How it
handy.
Works? Okay. I thought the odds would be that there might be somebody who actually was sitting at a typewriter desk on Typehouse.
Here, I am, but I've got a side raise versus the one that comes out the front. But I'm sure the mechanism is very similar, and it uses very heavy duty springs to pull it up and then hold it up. But then I think it's a little different. So mine comes out the side and then locks up with this.
I used to have one of those. It was like a drawer thing that pulled out and come up like that.
Yeah, it sort of just comes out and then it sort of goes up and then locks in, and then it sits right to my side here.
Yeah, I used to have one of those. Those are so handy.
Yeah. So the ones that go down the side, I think they use a bit of a different mechanism. Spring system.
Yeah, they do, because it's a sort of flipping over kind of thing.
Yeah. So we'll find some pictures. I'll go looking around, and if I find some pictures, I'll send them to you.
Okay. Thanks.
And
okay. Well, I just sort of thought I could see one in action because I have the idea in my head, but I don't really have the.
Well, kitchens these days, I see a lot of new kitchen cabinet companies who have those drawers that do the same kind of thing. You slide something out, like all your pots and pans, and then it lifts up to do stuff. I'm sure you could use some sort of modern system to renovate your desk.
How interesting.
Once it locks up, it should be okay.
But it's not really, it doesn't kind of go like that. I mean, it sort of has to go like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is why I thought like seeing it on video would give me some ideas, but
you
probably I
lift the lid
just
and then
need
the whole thing moves.
Cannibalize, an actual typewriter desk. So, alrighty. Well, thanks.
I was trying to remember what kind Brian Good has. I know he has one, but I don't remember.
Where'd he go? He's not here.
No, he disappeared.
Come and go, these typewriter people.
I know.
I was actually just about to hop off. Oh my goodness. Because the sun came out and I should probably walk the dogs while it's not raining.
Yes.
What's this sun you speak of?
Yes. Yeah, I'll show you. Sun. There's sun out there.
Oh, nice.
Neil, do you see that? Those are the pear trees out there.
I see them. You know, if you're going to stay on just a couple more minutes, Kara, I can try something. I've never done this before, but I'm going to try I'm going to jump off here and see if I can jump back on with my iPhone and go downstairs to my desk, because I have a desk similar, I think it's to what you're referring to, but let me jump off here and
How exciting, Neil. Thank you.
well, don't get too excited.
Now I'll have to write you back.
This is Mr. doesn't know how to do tech stuff, so I may never be back, but I'm going to try. If not, I'll take a
It was nice knowing you.
Very cool. Excellent. Yeah, so hopefully you have time to stick around for that.
Yeah, I can stick around for that. The dogs are barking in the other
cool.
room, so
Cool. But yes, it's very good seeing you. Oh, he might be coming
who's that?
right back
Oh
on.
no, that was Chris. That's Christopher coming.
Oh, Christopher, yes.
Well, somebody else can chat while we're waiting to see if Neil still exists.
Yes, definitely. Very cool. Excellent. Oh, I'm speaking. Robert, how are you doing?
Hello, good evening, or better said, good morning to you. Here it's evening, as you already know. Yes, you see, I think it's starting to get a tradition for me to wear some kind of hat here, or a cap, whatever. This has a reason, because I had been to the hairdresser. So, and I thought, due to my age, I'm starting to let it just hold it short, and so it won't look so awkward. By surprise, it was funny to hear that the Chroma Colibri was featured some half an hour before. And so I stick to my stock of typewriters, and I have a Colibri, but it's in the attic, so I couldn't access it right now. But if it's interesting, I have a Chroma Chromina here. It is the ancestor of the Colibri.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's quite a nice machine, so I try to turn the camera around. Just give me the back camera. So, no, this is not the machine. This is only a pencil. Yes. So here it is.
Ah, yes.
And it's very flat. I think it was a bit inspired by the Skywriter. I've never seen a Skywriter live, and I'm really looking for a Skywriter, but they are in Germany not to get. This is from 1953, it is, as far as I've seen on the database. And one fine thing is with it, I think I've bought it, I think 1 year ago, fairly cheap, a good luck. And I think it was serviced by someone, because you see here is a broken piece. Wait, where's my finger here? Here's a broken piece, and this was welded. You see, compared to this side here, the clamp.
Oh, yeah.
And there you can see it was welded and ground a bit. Don't know if it was made fine. But then I think it has gotten a new platen. So when you listen, it sounds quite soft. And it's not so hard as to expect with a machine from 1954.
Yeah.
So it types quite soft, but it's not very fine to type, because when what I prefer to type is touch typing, my pinky has really a problem with the A. It's getting very deep, and so it's not so relaxing to write as, for example, with round keyed Hermes Baby. But quite nice machine, and you see it really has a 90-degree angle. So when you see how far the type bars are traveling, that's really stunning. And you see also when you're press down a key, it goes really vertical down. It doesn't tilt. It's a really interesting mechanic it is. But as I said, it's not the finest typer. Maybe I have to do some work on it to get it better. But it's a quite nice machine, and look at the flatness.
Yeah.
Compared to the thumb of the owner of this machine. So quite nice machine and handy. And as I said, I think it's the ancestor of the Colibri. So the lever here, it's to fold down like this, and the Colibri folds, I think, down from here. And so, yes, nice machine from the German Democratic Republic.
Yeah, very
And
nice.
yes, and here's the case. It's a boxy case, square case. This is a case. I think nothing more to say about it, but you see it's really a vintage case. It's wood and also in quite a nice shape for this age. So a Romina. And in the back, here's my newest acquisition. I got it from 10 euros just around the corner, so I had to pick it. I had to pick it up. There was no way, because you just said something about typewriter overload. Yes, I have an overload. This is one of the symptoms of my overload. It's a Mercedes Prima. I think it's from 1934, quite old, with glass keys, and had some issues. The carriage was loose, so I had to fix it. Okay, not the best typer, but quite a nice little machine. I've read that it's inspired by the Underwood machine, so I have to do some research on it again. Later here in the back, you can see some decals. It's made in Thuringia, which is became later German Democratic Republic, but in 1934 there were no East and West Germany. There was only one Germany, and a Germany in a very bad shape, I would like to say, about this age of time. Yeah, just glass key that's really, really nice and really solid, made for a small machine. You see, it's really solid, everything. And but it came without a case, so I don't know what I will do with it. First, I will store it. The platen is rock hard, so don't know. But it's a beautiful one, and now I'm owning a Mercedes, if anyone asks. Yeah. So now I'm going back to that you can see me. Or how would you say? No, there's nothing more to see. Here I'm back. This hat has also a nice history, because I got it, I think 30 years ago. Someone brought it to me from Australia. It's an Australian hat. And now I really found out they are damn expensive. They run about $300 or something like it. Wow. And I was really asking, hey, when you go into Australia, could you pick up a hat for me? And she brought it to me. I don't know how much it costs there. And she said at this time, you can keep it. You don't have to give me anything. And it's, as I said, it's about 30 years old and still a nice hat.
Was it made out of kangaroo or something? Is that why it's so expensive, because it's made out of kangaroo or something? I just wondered.
It's not jumping. No, it's not jumping. But here's a piece of leather. There's a little strap here out of leather. I don't know which kind of leather it is, but it doesn't bounce. So
nice hat.
Maybe it's eucalyptus leather. I don't know, or koala, or whatever. No, I hope not.
Yeah.
But it was really funny. Just off topic a bit. Many years ago, I'd been at South Africa, and also I found a hat looks same like this, and it had a piece of fur here, a small band of fur. And as I came back to the Frankfurt airport, the customs was very interested in this hat, because they were looking if this fur was from an endangered species or not. And so I think it was just a normal, I don't know how you call it, springbok or something, and they didn't complain, but they really were looking and comparing the fur if it is something endangered or not. But this is not kangaroo. Nothing more to say, just a bit. As you said, typewriter overload is really a topic for me, because I have lots of them, I have plenty of them, and really when you have them, you have your favorites to type on, you have your favorites to look on, and many machines, you have them and you think, oh, it's nice to have them, but do you really need them, or do you really use them? A bit difficult, but I can't separate, I can't give them away, or only if I really have a double machine or someone who I really like, and I think, okay, this machine I really don't know, but it's not a crappy machine. I would never present a crappy machine to someone I like. And so It's really an issue to think about, because on the other hand, I'm just looking for 2 or 3 other machines I'm really interested, but though my curve of getting or hoarding the machines is flattening, of course. But still, you think about, do I really need a machine? Do I need this machine, or do I use it? It's really not so easy. On the other hand, we are all on a mission. We have to save typewriters from being scrapped. So when I don't keep the typewriter, maybe someone else will throw them just away, and this is not allowed.
Yes.
So big problem.
So
Yeah.
Robert, that Mercedes, you said that you don't think it types very well. What don't you like about it?
That's the most problem with many machines I have. Okay, I just have it some days, so I really have to flush the segment again or something. My most problem with many machines is, as I really, and I'm really proud about it, that I learned in the age of 50 or 52 touch typing on a course. And often it is very hard to type the A. And though it's you can't type fluently, because always you have to hit the A with a pinky that it nearly hurts, or you use another finger for the A, and you shouldn't, because you're losing your position. So that's the problem with many machines. That's one reason because I really love the old Hermes Baby with the round keys, because this one types really light, even with the pinky, or you can type the Q with the pinky, with the left pinky, which is often the weakest finger we have. And that's often a problem. And as I said, with the Chromina, it's the same. You can type all letters really fine, but for the A, and we use the A very often, that's the problem, it is hard to type on. And this is one of my criteria for a good machine or a bad machine. If I can really touch type on it without thinking, or without thinking about, or I have to use more force for the A. And this is with the Mercedes Prima a bit same. I think I can bring it a bit better, in better shape. But okay, I have many alternatives right now on the floor. There's an SM7, which I can type for hours, or really everyone loves it, and I use it too. The Hermes 3000 is a machine you can type without thinking or without concentrating on special keys, and that's one point for me. Daniel is lifting his hand.
Yeah, I have the same problem as you, Robert. I learned touch typing at 54, and the A, I sometimes I don't press hard enough, or the P, but I've started teaching myself to use this finger, my ring finger, to type the A, and now I'm fine. It's just a bit of a change of mind, because it's quite easy with this finger to reach for the A, and I can do it now.
This might be one method. I was just thinking as I was typing on this Chromina, and I really said, no, this hard A, sorry for the word, sucks for me. But then on the other hand, I was thinking also I could do some drills with my finger, just type ASDF or something to get more strength in my pinky. Or I bring my pinky to the gym, and there we have also a big selection of weights and dumbbells. And so I think it's maybe it might help really to practice to get because I wouldn't like to change my pattern of typing. That's the same when I play guitar. I have my chords and I play them like this, and I really don't want a changed finger set. So
then you exercise with the ball, a tennis ball.
This could be really better. But on the other hand, it's easy because I just grab in my shelf and pick up a typewriter, which works fine. So why should I work with a typewriter which doesn't feel so comfortable when I have alternatives, as we all have too many typewriters? That's the problem. But I appreciate your Daniel. I appreciate your hint, and it's of course a way to do it, of course. But yeah, I think everyone has to find its own way. So and
yep.
On the other hand, to be honest, I think we should all be honest. I think a lot of our time we are typing on computer keyboards more than often on typewriters for the job or for whatever. And so it's really easy for the A to be typed with the pinky. And when you then you have two typesets, two different, don't know if it helps or if it distracts.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we have Neil back with showing his desk there. So let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Kind of a miracle.
Awesome.
Are you still there, Care?
I am.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what your desk looks like. So this is obviously with it folded back in, and this one it's like Sean was saying, there's some pretty heavy duty springs down underneath there. I'll try and show you. Let me see if I can.
Who saw that green ace liner stapler?
Sean.
So that's kind of what it looks like.
Oh,
that's a good look.
Yeah.
And those big round things, I guess, are like the bumpers that it sort of the top will hit against when it closes fully.
Correct. Yeah. So as you bring it down, it gets dark in there. But here's from underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
It's pretty not complicated, but it's got a lot of moving pieces to it. So
I see that.
That's when it's flat.
Okay. Yeah, that's almost exactly like mine. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's almost exactly the same desk, except it doesn't have any of the underneath stuff, right? This is the part that should move, and it's nailed down, but all the hardware has been taken out. But other than that, it's the same.
Kara, is the typewriter tray still under your desk?
No.
Oh.
There's nothing.
So they took the tray and all the hardware out.
Yeah, they took all the hardware out and nailed it down. Well, maybe I just give up on my idea that it's ever going to be a typewriter desk again, but now I know what I'm looking for. Somebody messaged me and suggested a furniture restorer might be able to do it, but I think it's such a specialized, it would have to be somebody who had a crapped out.
They do have a
that. It'd be nice if you could find something like in an antique mall, like the parts like that, because I got one too, and it has all the stuff was taken out, so I just ended up, sealing it shut so you can't move it.
Right.
Which I wish I could find, the parts, because I think it'd be really neat, but the desk is still really cool anyways, even if it doesn't work.
I still like my desk too.
Yeah.
It's probably easier just to find a desk with all of that and then sell the one you've got.
Probably.
Yeah.
Larry, is it okay if I read what you shared with me?
Oh, sure. It wasn't mine.
The
computer did that. So,
Okay, so this is what Larry sent me in a direct message. He asked Chat GPT for fun, making a good desk for antique typewriter can, this is artificial intelligence version of how to make an antique typewriter desk. Making a good desk for an antique typewriter can be a fun and rewarding project. Here are some steps to get you started. I'm trying to read it monotone, like I'm sure it was written. 1, choose the right materials. The desk should be sturdy enough to hold the weight of the typewriter. You can use solid wood, plywood, or MDF boards to build the desk. The finish of the desk should complement the style of the antique typewriter. 2, measure the typewriter. Take accurate measurements of the typewriter, including the length, width, and height. This will help you determine the size of the desk you need to build. Could argue with that. 3, sketch a design. Draw a rough sketch of the desk design, keeping in mind the dimensions of the typewriter. Consider the placement of the typewriter, storage space for paper and supplies, and any other features you would like to include. 4, cut the pieces. Skipped a few steps, I think. Use a saw to cut the pieces for the desk according to your design. Sand the edges of the pieces to make them smooth. 5, assemble the desk. Use screws, nails, or glue to assemble the desk pieces. Make sure the joints are strong and secure. 6, finish the desk. Sand the desk surface to smooth out any rough spots. Apply a stain or paint finish to protect the wood and give it a polished look. 7, add finishing touches. You can add details like brass corners, vintage hardware, or a leather writing pad to give your desk an antique look. By following these steps, you can create a beautiful and functional desk for your antique typewriter that will be a cherished piece for years to come. They make it sound so simple. I feel like I could even do that.
You could.
I wonder if AI can actually make it for you.
That would be more to the point, wouldn't it? I don't know if it follows these steps. I'm not sure I would put a typewriter, let alone a pencil in it. But thank you, Larry, for that.
Well,
helpful.
Chat GPT is the way they're improving their product is by people using it, and they're selling it to industry to build things or to fly airplanes or to navigate automobiles that are self-control, or just to be able to talk to any kind of tech device. It's amazing how far it's come. And I know one of their original ones was that Watson computer. If you watch Jeopardy, like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, they beat everybody, and I think this week is Chat GPT 4 is coming out, which is supposed to be even way better. And so it just is rolling, and the more people use it, the faster it'll roll, and they'll make tons of money on it, no doubt. But it's got its uses, and I know some people are afraid of it, but anything can be used for bad or good, So anyway.
I'm not afraid of it, but I find it rather gross.
Well,
not a fan.
What I do find about it is, like, I told it to write some songs, and I thought, wow, I didn't get any satisfaction out of that at all. It was a good song even, but it's like there's no satisfaction out of letting that do that for me. But I do realize, because I showed a guy at church this morning what it does, and he said, could it do this? And so I told it, yeah, here's a song. So he's going to go home and work on this song, and he's never written a song before. And I thought, the way I learned to write songs is by doing it. And if you use that, you could learn a lot more quickly how to write a song, because it knows how to structure it already. And that's how you learn, is you learn how songs are structured, and you start copying it. So it gives you immediate feedback, and you can, so it's a good learning tool, and it's going to be a good tool for, so if we want a robot to make something, it will be able to make something. That's look at 3D printing. A computer analyzes something using lasers, and it can 3D print almost anything. Well, now you'll be able to say, I'd like to 3D print this thing for a typewriter, and it can look up typewriters, and so you could say, I want an Olympia, and it'll know how much an Olympia weighs, and it'll know the dimensions, because it has all that in its, it has the entire web as its database. So once it has all this stuff in there, you'll be able to even show it a picture of this desk, and it'll be able to repeat that, so it's pretty fascinating. But I'm serious. That's what it'll be able to do. It's not even far-fetched at all. So, there's uses for it for sure. And of course, the people that control the money control the world. So there could be the problem, but anyway.
Yeah, something to
well,
think
on
about.
that cheerful note, I gotta go.
Okay, thank you so much, Carrie.
Thanks, everybody. Nice to see you. And hi, William. I'm sorry I didn't get to chat with you, but it's nice to see you. I've missed you.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time. And thanks again, Neil, for showing that. One of those desks is definitely on my wish list, because those are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. I love that.
Yeah.
I'd love to find one of those. I wouldn't want to try to make one, but I'd love to find one.
Yeah. That has to be proprietary, like, hardware on it, right? Like, you can't just find that somewhere.
No, you could maybe, in a way, you could figure out how to make that out of wood, actually. You could make some kind of device out of wood if you're handy with wood. I've seen a guy that does that. I don't do that, but some people are amazing with wood and could make all that.
That's true. That's true.
I think even if you could find the hardware for it, it's also an issue of installing it correct. It has to be almost custom made for the size, because it's very, and the size of the spring tension, and where the brackets are mounted, all has to work in unison for that thing to work smoothly. I had one like Sean was describing his years ago, and that was also nice too. It was one that you pivoted this way in the chair, and then this one kind of came out from the bottom and up. I think that's what Sean was describing. That was nice too. But once they get in position, then they also kind of lock, not really lock, but they're secure. So finding even if you found the hardware, it'd be really tricky to adapt it to another desk. So anyway, yeah, so that's the one I got at an estate sale. I don't know. I shared it on here when I got it. You guys were helping me try to figure out what year it was made. I think more research I've done on it looks like it was probably made in the 40s. I think it's a monster to move. I had to hire. It cost me as much to have the two guys haul it from the estate sale and bring it in the house that for what I paid for it at the estate sale, but it's well worth it. So it's beautiful, just a beautiful piece of furniture.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's see here. Anthony, how are you doing?
Hello there.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is the BBC. How's everyone? Haven't been on for a while.
Yeah, we're doing great,
You
and we're
haven't
even
been
better.
gone. I've been reading your jokes on Facebook.
The fact that you're laughing while saying that, I think, is a good sign.
Oh yeah, you have some funny stuff there.
Did you see the latest one?
I don't know. Was it today?
I was arrested after stealing an entire set of encyclopedias. I said to the police, "Wait, I can explain everything."
That's right.
Yeah, 3 laughs and everyone else is slapping their faces. That tells me just everything I need to know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, great.
I thought so.
Yeah. So how are the typewriters going?
They're kicking back into life after a period of semi-hibernation.
Okay.
It's been a long winter here.
Yeah.
And I know the Canadians are going, you don't know what winter's like over there. we don't get snowfall in 7 feet a night, falls like, but the days are getting longer. So
your long winters because of a lot of cold. Is that why?
Larry, it's not really the cold so much. It's just the dreariness.
Okay.
The shortness of the days.
Because our winter's long right now, it seems like, too, to everybody around here. And I think what it is because we keep having it warm up and then get cold and then warm up, and we're getting tired of it. We want it to just get warm.
Well, I just want to get something done outdoors,
Yeah.
It can be difficult, I mean, it's been raining here on and off for the past 3 or 4 days. There are some bright spells and bright days, but those days are cold. So that's the time I would imagine most people would actually sit at their typewriter, when they're not able to get out. But I've just found it to be a very long winter. It's just dragging on. So
yeah,
but I have been writing. Funny enough, it's not like I'm doing nothing. I have been writing. Some of it's just what you might call daily pages or scrap writing, just to stay in the habit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe long winters are good because we're always saying how short life is, and so it's like, well, maybe that's one way to lengthen it.
I like your optimistic viewpoint.
Yes. Very good.
So yesterday I managed to write 3,000 words of my book.
Oh wow.
Ah.
I was catching up for lost time.
Okay.
I look back at the TypeScript and I hadn't written anything since January. So
are they all different words? Are they all different words, or was that all one word? That's a lot of words.
Actually, the current word count is at 98,000, so I can see the 100,000 mark coming very quickly.
Wow.
Wow.
3 or 4 more pages of TypeScript will do that. I think I'm averaging, I'm using the Brother Daisy Wheel typewriters for that. And I think I'm averaging something around 450 words a page. Something like something.
So that's single spaced, right?
Line and a half.
Okay, line and a half. Okay.
Line and a half and pitch of 10.
Ah, okay.
I think 10 characters per inch. Yeah, the pitch is at 10.
Yeah.
It gives me
Sounds
room
about right.
to add in, like, you know, some Irish words have fadas, like the equivalent of the French accents, and I write those in pencil afterwards. So it just gives me room to do that. Single spacing is a bit too bunched up for that, you know.
Yes. Very good. And now you remind me, you only have like a handful of typewriters, right? So you probably don't have typewriter overload.
Well, yeah, when you're talking about overload, are you talking about having too many typewriters, or just being overloaded in the sense of, you know, not having other hobbies, spending too much time on typewriters?
Any sense of that is acceptable.
No, I don't have overload. The reason I don't make acquisitions often is that I don't have the space to store them. I would use them. Absolutely. If I had 50 typewriters, I would probably try to use a different one every day. As it stands, I only have room in the office here for, well, I have my favorite, which is the Adler Gabrielle 25. I have the Olivetti Valentine, and I have on the desk at the moment is the Remington Quiet Writer, and the Two Brothers, which are similar but not identical. There are 3 or 4 in storage in the loft, and I gave away the Adler Special. I gave that as a gift to an artist friend who apparently has got a lot of use out of it and has been very grateful for it, because I tried to sell it and nobody was interested because it's too big, and I wasn't using it because I had the only place I could store it was on the floor here, and just getting it from there onto the desk every time. And I think I was saying previously I wasn't enjoying using it. It was too heavy. It was too much of a workout to use.
Yeah.
Anyway, she has it and she's loving it. So I'm delighted because it's gone to a good home. It's not going to be tossed into an attic, or worse still, a skip, you know. It's getting a new lease of life. So happy out, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Very good. Well, it's so good to see you.
It's always a pleasure.
Excellent. Christopher, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's nice to be listening to all you computer wizards on a lovely, happy daylight saving day.
Yes.
I always love it when the days are longer in the summer. It's a good thing for me.
Oh,
because I don't have any small children to try and get to go to bed before 10 p.m. It's a good thing.
Okay.
So I guess Joe is gone. I have that same Brother typewriter that he has.
Oh, okay.
I was going to check. How did we determine the year that it was made?
Well, he had some of the documentation, and the copyright was suggested 1996, or was it 2006? No, 1996. And then there was something, another date mentioned on the paperwork that said 1997. And then he read the serial number to Ted. So if the first number after the initial letter, the first number corresponds to the final digit of the year. And in his case, it was a 7, so it was 1997.
I see. My documentation is in the other room. I'm looking at the serial number, which is K1K 502675. And Ted is gone at the moment.
Interesting.
So
So one,
K1K.
Yeah, because well, you said K1K?
Yeah, K1K is how it starts. I bought it. There's Ted. I bought it a few years ago from the Staples store. So
what number is after the second K?
A 5.
And
then a 0.
Okay.
Ted, we're talking about my brother SX 4009 or SX 4000, and we're trying to figure out what year it's from. Without getting the documentation, do I have any numbers I can tell you that'll help me?
What's the serial number again?
K1K 502675.
Okay, and can you hold it up so I can take a look at it?
I'll give it my best shot.
2001.
2001?
Oh.
Yep.
How do you tell that?
Because of the body style.
Okay, cool. I knew an expert.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the same as Joe's, except it's a few years newer.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm older than him, so I should have a younger typewriter, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I have another question for you, wizards. I have a Skywriter, which I bought a couple of years ago, and I had it, serviced at the time. And I pulled it out after a few years and was typing on it, and it skips like crazy when I'm typing, touch typing. So I slowed it down, and it still skipped. And then I went to typing about the same speed with 2 fingers, and it doesn't skip at all. Is that a problem with my typing technique, or does the machine need to be looked at again?
Machine needs to be adjusted. I'm going to forward you a blog post.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because my Skywriter doesn't skip at all.
Well, this didn't. After I had it serviced, it was just fine, but it's been sitting for a couple of years, so.
Probably just needs a good cleaning, but I'll send you.
Where are you sending it?
A link. I will send it in the chat here. Are you looking at the chat?
I can be.
Can be.
There, I'm looking at the chat now.
Okay, give me a second here.
Thank you.
Yeah, very cool.
I did find another typewriter repairman since my guy disappeared.
Oh, cool.
It's about a 40-minute drive from here, but that's only 40 minutes. It's not 6 hours.
Yes.
Boom, there you are.
Nice. There it is in the chat.
Okay. Get this thing here. Oh dear, where'd it go? Disappeared.
Well, it comes up temporarily, but then you might have to open the chat. Which are you in the actual Zoom app on a computer?
Yes, I am. Now I've turned my screen off.
Okay, so they now hide it under the 3 dots. It says more.
Right.
This is at the bottom. So you click on that, and then you click on chat, and that should open the.
Yeah, well, I've clicked
window.
something, and now I have a screen that says Zoom on it, and I can't get everybody's picture back. So I'll have to there we go. All righty, 3 dots.
3 dots. It says more, and you tap on that, and
let's see, save chat.
Yes.
Yeah, save. So what do I do now? Save chat?
Save chat will save it on your computer. Most likely it's going to save it in a folder in your documents folder. It'll be documents, Zoom, and then probably the date of this meeting.
Okay, yeah, I'll find it.
And then you'll find the text file in there.
Chat now, and the latest thing that it shows me is William's chat that he's leaving. So
okay. I'll pitch it again. Here we go. There it is again. Did it pop up for you?
No.
It's the
Night.
There we go. Got it.
Okay,
Excellent.
good.
I'll take a picture of that with my phone.
Well, if you go to
Excellent.
monk.org too and look it up, you'll be able to find
Yeah.
it.
I've enjoyed your posts the last few weeks, Ted.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Thank you.
Ted, here's a question for you. How many blog posts, and you probably won't know this offhand, but maybe you can give us a ballpark. How many blog posts do you have about the Skywriters? Do you know?
Have
there been a lot or just a few?
I
or
don't
one?
file them under specific categories like that, but like I can search for Skywriter.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, I guess.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, about 30.
Okay.
And
But
that would be
those are just posts that have the word Skywriter in them. So
yeah,
that's
true.
Adjusting escapement trip on Smith Corona.
yeah, if you search
Yeah.
for Skywriter skipping, that'll bring up the right article.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
And Ted, you probably told us at some point, but I'm curious how you like Skywriters.
I like them a lot. I especially like the Tower Chieftain 3 that that shows up in this article, and also Katie showed one off.
Yes.
A little earlier. That's my favorite Skywriter. I tend to like older Skywriters, but I like the newer return levers, so I tend to steal the return levers off of newer Skywriters and put them on older ones.
Yeah.
And because it's just a drop-in replacement. So
okay.
So yeah, I like them. Right now I
Yeah.
have 2 of them that are both Pika, and since I'm writing on little tiny sheets of paper like this, I kind of want an elite one now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does anybody happen to have a chieftain badge that goes on the, where the paper?
I do not have the badge.
Maybe
mine's
spare one. I could use one of those.
Mine's in rough enough shape that thing got knocked off long ago.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Is it the older Skywriters? I'm trying to think how mine is now, but is it the older Skywriters that have that itty bitty carriage return lever that kind of cups your finger?
Yeah, and I call it vestigial. Vestigial return lever.
Yeah. Oh man.
It didn't quite evolve all the way, but that's the kind of return lever you need if you're going to have the snap-on metal lid.
Yeah.
But all mine have the leather zip cases, so it doesn't matter whether they have the larger one or the smaller one.
Okay.
And for some reason, during the mid 50s, they released a lot of those Skywriters in the zipper cases with the vestigial return lever, which made no sense to me at all. Because it's like, you got the room, put the better return lever on it.
But the better return letter does scratch it up, right?
It does. Like if you see the Tower Chieftain 3, the one thing you'll notice is every single one of them has a nick right here on the edge of the ribbon cover because of that. Because it's got smooth paint, which was pretty easily chipped, and because Skywriter return levers tend to hit that particular area, it just got chipped off on every one of those things.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I would actually be in the market to get another Skywriter. I really, really like it. Yeah.
I like them a lot. It has a very unique typing feel, because it's kind of long and spindly.
Yeah.
Like you kind of feel like you're typing on something that has keys that come way out here, and you're kind of doing this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
They seem very sturdy too.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty sturdy. You don't want to set a bowling ball on top of one, but no.
Yeah.
That'll definitely mess it up.
Yeah, I think I picked mine up like when Hermes were like really starting to take off in price and attention. I picked up a Skywriter on the cheap, and I was shocked because previous to that, I think the Skywriters were kind of sought after, but then everybody was focused on the Hermes, and so I think they were not focusing on the Skywriter so much, but I think they've gone back up in price though. So
Possibly. I don't know. When I got mine, I mean, I wanted one of those Chieftain 3s. And so when I saw one, I put a bid in on it. And I ended up getting it after the actual shipping cost. I think it was 39 cents that I paid for that thing on eBay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was like, I think I paid 14 something and the shipping was 12 something or $13. And
yeah.
And he just stuck it in like a mailer box. It didn't even have much padding, but it survived.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that they come in a case, I think it helps shipping a lot, actually.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the machine itself had been pretty roughed up before it even went to shipping, because it had been owned by there was like little flower stickers all over it. And I found stickers that were dated 1984. So I figured some 10-year-old girl owned this thing in 1984 and just carried it around and, knocked it about, put stickers on it, and it had cat hair all over the inside of it. And so it took some work, but it was well loved.
Yeah. That's interesting to use the date on the stickers.
Hey, it was pretty neat. I was like, I know this is a 1950s machine.
Yeah.
But it's got all these stickers on it, and it has like the Schoolhouse Rock stickers from,
oh yeah,
dated underneath the 84.
Yep.
So
that's pretty cool.
My Sears Tower Chieftain 2 is in 1958, and its original purchase date was May 20th, 1960. And I got it from the Salvation Army August 8th, 2017 for $14.99 plus tax.
Yeah. Wow. So there you go.
So I got the paper. I mean, I'm just reading my dad. I wrote on it. It's in the house. Yeah.
That's cool.
It has.
You may be able to find pretty good deals on the tower machines, because they're not. I mean, a lot of people aren't really looking for the tower machines. So
yeah,
a lot of times they can fly under the radar on auction sites and stuff.
That's true. Nice. That's true. Excellent. I'll keep that in mind.
And they have a cooler badge.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. We only have a few minutes left, but I do want to say hi to William. How are you, William? Oh,
we've got company, and my wife has a voice that carries a long way. So I've just asked them to be quiet for 1 minute. So I've got the 57 seconds left to chat.
Okay. How are you?
Pretty good. Skywriters, my favorite one is a 1962 4Y prefix. I bought a Tower Chieftain and ended up giving that to a dear friend of ours, the daughter of who just graduated from university to be a teacher. And so I figured that'd be an interesting classroom demonstration for her. And nice. I got a thank you letter written on it. And she said, I have to confess, I had to ask my mom to show me where the return key was.
Oh,
yeah. And I usually carry my 4Y series Skywriter in the car with me, with envelopes and letters and stamps in the back pocket of a black leather case. So I've always got something to type letters from a motel room in Edmonton, from a picnic bench out in BC, Invermere area.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of nice to have it around. I also type letter on the front porch of a bed and breakfast in Manitoba. Kind of handy. So I'm going to shut up and let other people carry on. And God bless all. Take care, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you so much, William.
Okay. Bye.
All right. So we're just about out of time, but does anybody else have any comments or questions or things they want to show before we wrap up here? No. Silence. I do have to say, so I went through all the trouble to arrange the chat over here. And it's been like crickets in the chat today, whereas last week it was an insane number of chat comments. So yeah, but I feel like it was almost unnecessary to have this blues square here, but oh well. Maybe next week we'll have more YouTube chat. So, but yeah, Sean, you were going to say something.
I was just going to show something I've been meaning to show for a while. Colby's not here, but this is Colby's fault.
Okay.
Maybe I did show it. I don't know anymore. I can never remember. So I did get a visible mailbox.
I don't think you showed that. No.
Okay. So yeah, that is a 1930s or 40s visible mail. I put the white thing in it so you could see the.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna mount it on the wall in here and then put my mail on it.
We had that on our house when I was a kid, and I forgot. It has a metal top and bottom. I remember that. It was on our front porch.
Yeah, we used to, security ended up overriding the usefulness of this, because this way you could see that there was mail in your mailbox.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to reach in, but it also told people you had mail that they could steal. And when everything came in the form of, checks and cash and envelopes, that became probably not a good thing. So, and these probably broke a lot too, but they're super cool now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. I love it. I just forgot all about that thing.
Is it made of glass or plastic? It's glass, Sean, is it, or is it plastic?
It's glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Glass with a bottom that you can open up, put a little lock on the little tab here so you can keep people out of your mail, but they just break the whole thing and get your mail anyway if they really want. But then the top would have come like when it's got a couple screw holes back here so you could stick it, but just looking online, there was a little metal piece that came down and circled around and then locked in the back to hold it up, but then it was curved up at the front so your newspaper could get stuck against the wall up here, and then you could pull that off. So I'm gonna have to fabricate something in order to get it wall mounted again, but yeah.
We had a metal milk box on the floor under that, and on the floor on the porch, and so the milkman could put the milk bottles in there too.
Metal milk box.
I'm just picturing it's just so cool to see that.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, well that's a great way to end the episode today. So yeah,
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, you should. So thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you next week. You're welcome.
Take care.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Gregory.
Yes.
There is a lot of stuff in the chat. I don't know, did it ever come up, or maybe it's not connected properly?
Let's see.
Ted and me both squeezed in there just before the very end.
It came up. It just doesn't stay on the screen for long.
Oh, it doesn't stay up. Okay, gotcha. So
yeah, it stays up for a minute and then it scrolls off.
Yeah, give it about 10 seconds and there'll be another one come up here. It takes a while.
Okay.
Thanks, Ted.
There it is. Beep boop.
Beep boop.
Thanks,
Not
Ted.
cheap, Sean. I can tell you that they're not cheap.
All right, beep boop, everybody.
Beep
boop.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.